Better indeed.
Alrighty. I hardly even remember where I was or what I was doing, but here we go. For those of you just tuning in, I did set up a new YouTube account. Well, it's actually not new. It has a video on there from like 9 years ago of me geocaching, but it's new for this purpose of capturing my streams and making sure that I am. I'll be uploading the previous night's stream the next day, so that everyone can follow along, even if you missed the live stream. So don't forget to subscribe to that. I'm still catching up on the past videos, but started putting them together over the weekend. So hopefully within the next few days here, they'll all be caught up. Hey, Everything Dark. Good to meet you. Welcome to the stream. One glass eye and several teeth are missing from the sculder head. This field journal contains sketches of Admeth's Weert, deercap, and other common plants. All them fruits.
Well met, friend.
Warden Feargan. This grizzled old man takes a puff from his pipe and nods at you. Was wondering when you'd be dropping by. Kith round here have been hit with more than their share of trouble of late. I'm up to my ear in bounty offers. Figured at least one of these might interest someone with your skills. Oh my goodness. What are the most recent bounties? Now I ought to warn you, there's a reason these bounties are still on offer. These are tough bastards, every one of them. If you're not up to it now, feel free to come back around when you're better prepared. In the meantime, here's a good batch to start us off. There's the standing bounty on Sly Keerdale's head, of course. Then there's the forest lurker haunting the trade routes. And this ogre shaman should fetch a good price. And up last is one, War Chief Iclock. Honestly, I don't know. I get nervous when people tell me that things are more powerful than me, because I don't want to get killed and be done. But let's see. I want to know about Sly Seardell. This bounty comes all the way from New Heamar. Sly Seardell and some of his accomplices have escaped the prison there and killed 2 justiciars on the way out. The guards are itching after revenge. A man matching his description was seen near Magrin's Fork. He's well armed, and he'll have his friends with him too. I'm going to leave with that one. Nope, not that. Let's see what this actually looks like. If I can bring back his head as proof. Yeah, so I have no idea what level he is, so I'll just kind of run into him eventually, I'm sure. I'll leave it alone for now. I don't want to activate one of them and put him in a place that I'm going to and have him be way too powerful. Yeah, this is Steelyx. He's my companion. Oh, bud. I followed you for a while now on YT and didn't know you stream on Twitch. Nice to catch a live stream. Oh, okay.
Looks a little healthier than before.
Oh, what did I come here for anyways? Gotta do that. That's ongoing. That's underneath. That's a little bit later. Twin Elms. That's way later. Working on that. Oh, right. I gotta talk to her. That's why I came here. I wanted to talk to my 2 new companions. Or at least one of them. I think, the other one might be Nope, he is back. Cool. And I want to talk to my prisoner, too. What am I working on here? Are they all done? Sweet. Alright, in that case, how about probably the towers? My buddy. Maybe the training grounds. Let's go with the training grounds. Where'd you go? I know I didn't build them already. There they are. Jeez. Alright, real quick, I'll dismiss Durance. And her, recruit, and recruit. I need to talk to both of you.
As a peripatetic loner, I'm not privy to the latest news, but the Hollowborn Children is a tale that has reached even my reclusive ears. Or, rather, ear.
What are your thoughts on the Hollowborn?
Any time a life is separated from its soul, I wanted to pretend it was just a rumor when I first heard of it. In my youth, I'd cursed the dear Woodens for being ignorant despoilers that breed out of control. But soulless babies? What heartless gods would inflict that kind of tragedy? No parent or child deserves to be a part of that horror.
And what do the Glanfithin Druids think of this plight?
It's been a long time since I've spoken with my circle. They'd probably tell you what I'd tell you. This plight was most certainly the consequence of someone trespassing into Ngwithin places, not meant for folk. I mean, what else other than the gods could inflict punishment of such impressive scale?
Let's talk of other matters. Tell me about yourself. He runs his fingers through his scalp, preening his fur. Oh, where are you from originally?
You?
Excellent. I'll just gonna stare right at him.
Specifically in and around Thane Bog. My people, the Fisher Crane tribe, are migrant stewards of the land. I've walked the whole of Glanfoth many times.
I thought this guy was an Orlin. How did he grow up in Glanfoth? So what's your relationship with Gallowayne? I was raised as a disciple of the Seeker God. He's the champion of the hunt, be it the simple struggle for sustenance or the scholarly pursuit of knowledge. In my older years I've found he cuts himself off, shakes his head, and starts again. Life has shown me I am more suited to the ways of Whale. The furious hunt for knowledge often outpaces the journey to real understanding. How did you come to be trained as a druid? Ravius thumbs his half-shredded ear and thinks to himself for several seconds. It wasn't entirely by choice, not at the start, at least. My ambition was to be a hunter. I merely arrived by a different trail. As a child, an Enemfoth came to visit. An honored guest is occasion for a grand chase, but I was left out, instructed instead to be cupbearer to the old wise one while the rest were on hunt. I'm sure you can guess what happens. Wise Enemfoth gives dumb child a shred of attention. We ended up talking until the hunters returned. He gave me... His hands dart across his body, scouring the pockets and folds of his tunic. This. He presents a rusted iron medallion fashioned in the likeness of a hound's head, a common icon amongst the frontiersmen, explorers, and other seekers faithful to Gallowayne. The Enemfoth insisted I be trained, and none in my village would defy him. Now, he smiles broadly, I don't need a bow to hunt. So what's the story behind the symbol of Whale in your eye patch? Whale is known as the eyeless face, so his symbol seemed a good fit for my eye patch. He absent-mindedly runs his finger along the strap of the patch band. Whale iconography is rather popular in my home tribe, but it seems he is not as widely venerated here in the Deerwood. I remember thinking that if I consecrated my eye to he who obfuscates and reveals, then maybe with enough devotion, Whale would make use of the old ruined thing. He pulls on the eye patch strap and lets it go with a loud snap. So if you think you see me staring at rumps and cleavage, it's really just the will of Whale controlling my gaze. Honest. I like this guy. It's very nice to see you again. Interesting novel game. Yeah, it's a fun one. I like the narrative adventures for sure. But yes, Steelyx like the Pokemon. I spelled it with a Y because I'm an idiot, but yes. Druids are known for changing into animals, so what sort of creatures can you become? I know I've seen him become a bear, but he takes a half step backwards as you ask the question. All sorts of things, he says quietly, with a long and comfortable gaze. Haravia stares at you blankly, arms folded. Let's discuss something else. That is an unusually terse response from you.
It's a long
what
story,
are you holding back?
And I haven't really told it before to an outsider, so bear with me. I struggled with spirit shifting, the final rite of passage in my druidic training. I prayed to Galawain for insight and, in the style of seekers of old, went to the forest, alone, to ask for guidance. Then I got my answer, an answer at least, in the form of a vibrantly colored Stelgar that pounced from the underbrush and made a salient demonstration of its capacity to eat things 1/15th its size.
That's terrible, but I'm thankful you managed to survive.
It cost me half my face. And for the record, the Stelgar limped home with worse. As the beast was lopping off bits of my handsomeness, I remember trying to fight back, swinging with arms too short to reach. I felt I had the energy for one last swipe at the beast's nose, and when I lashed out with a punch, my arm felt twice as massive, and my fingers sprouted talons. In a rush of power, I shifted into a mirror of my assailant. Apparently, he couldn't pick on someone his own size. By the battle's end, his severed arm was in my maw. The beast limped away in defeat.
That is quite an impressive tale. I thought learning to spirit shift would win me some respect, maybe trap myself in a deer and last with a lust for little men. Alas, I might have been better off staying a novice. When I wandered back to my village, they saw my wounds and asked what happened. I showed them. The name they called my form was the Autumn Stelgar, and his mouth opens, but he hesitates for a long moment before choosing his words. They were not impressed. I want to say that's pronounced row. The row of my circle believe the Autumn Stelgar to be a heinous abomination. It is said that if it eats you, your soul is invariably lost. As this was my first and most intuitive form, they deemed me a carrier of its evil. Even though I never so much as threatened my kin, I was ruled unfit, and cast out. Haravia sighs, scratching his scarred face. I don't know what message Galawain was trying to send. The only lesson I learned was that the Seeker God will punish you for seeking. So, you're some sort of soul cannibal? Haravia stares at you with a frown before covering his face in his hands. No. At least I think not. I've never actually sat down and eaten an entire person to find out. I'm not that curious to find out. Alright, but you didn't choose your spirit shifting form. No, he says with a huff. It chose me, or so I imagine. I always assumed I would shift into a stoat. Seems more true to my nature. He points to the embossed pattern of whale on his eye patch. As the obscure teaches, when the answer is inscrutable, one must be content to ponder the question. Surprisingly wise from this guy. Were you at least recognized as a proper druid? His brow furrows. No. But I know I passed an initiation rite 5 times more perilous than any of those kin betrayers that insisted I was a failure. But can you learn to spirit shift into something less terrifying? Already can, and sometimes do, he says with a beaming smile that quickly returns to a scowl. but the druids of my circle assign great meaning to one's first form. I'll always be unclean to them. Well, thank you for sharing your story.
If you don't know me, you can't trust me. And if you can't trust me, odds are low you'll leap in front of a flying arrow to save my life.
How would you describe this game? Is it like BG3? It's or closer to Shadowrun. I don't know if you ever played Wasteland, but it's pretty much on par with that. Or Pathfinder, or what's the other one? Valerian, Divinity: Original Sin. But it's more like those, but in the same vein as BG3, just obviously much lower budget. I was playing BG3 for a while, but I have put so many hours into that game. I need a short break. But I just started doing these streams not too long ago, and started putting it up on YouTube because I should hit affiliate soon if everything goes according to plan, like within the next week. So I'm trying to get my name out there a little bit more. Hi, yeah, good boy. Happy boy. Bless you. Goodness.
I've been meaning to visit the druids of Twin Elms to see if they know more about my spirit shift. If our journey takes us there, perhaps they can enlighten me with more information about the Autumn Stelgar. But for now, maybe we can talk about something less depressing?
Tell me more about Galawain and Whale. He stares at you blankly with his one eye. Oh, not sure what more there is to say on the subject, unless you are itching for a religious debate. Well, tell me your thoughts on Whale. I came to know Whale in earnest in the first year of my exile. I asked myself why Galawain would punish me for asking questions. What just and fair god would punish me for doing as he asks? Questioning why I had been mauled just drove me mad. At the height of my worry, I would have dreams where I only saw with my injured eye. My healthy eye became blind in my dreams. He lifts up the eye patch to gently itch at the socket. You catch a quick glimpse of a puckered and scarred abscess under the Whale embroidered patch. So one afternoon, I stitched a stylized eye motif on the patch. I like to think of it as my self-initiation rite into the Brotherhood of Whale. Whale is not an instructive or overbearing deity. He does not freely dispense wisdom and expects all of us to question and explore with our own minds. Whale reminds me that curiosity is being receptive to any and all truths, not hunting for any one answer. And does praying to Whale help make sense of the Stelgar attack? His face turns flush, and he laughs nervously. In a fashion, yes. Praying to the eyeless face means letting go of the fear of not knowing, the fear of not having any answers. Some days it can be challenging to embrace uncertainty, but at least Whale does not demand celibacy. Let's speak of something else. I want to go back to this conversation. Tell me more about Galawain. A frown overcomes his face as he ponders your question. Consider it a lapsed devotion. I will always respect the Seeker God, but he visited ruination on me when all I sought was knowledge, just as he taught it should be. He meshes his fingers together and flexes his digits until the joints pop and click. Galawain left his mark on me. When I see my shifted reflection, I'm reminded of his presence. Galawain still inspires my fear, just not my worship. If a god gave me a task and then crippled me for following an instruction, I'd be just as angry as you are. Yeah? He smiles as his face turns flush. Well, I was angry. I was an angry wreck when the Roe exiled me. I'm just thankful for the solitude of the wilderness and the wisdom of Whale. Without them, I'd never have come to terms with my situation. One more question. Never mind, apparently. Tell me about Irglanfath. It's a verdant land of history, culture, and natural beauty. His voice falls into a half-whisper as he adds, and we already have enough unwanted trespassers, so I recommend you never visit. And why should I avoid Irglanfath? He looks at you puzzled. There are no cities to visit, no centers of commerce to explore. It It would seem most visitors come to our lands to pillage the Engwithan ruins. The ancient Engwithans gave the forest to our ancestors, and in return we watch their ruins to see to it that they remain untouched. And before you ask, no, we don't have a secret passphrase or hand gesture. Nobody enters the ruins, not even the guardians and watchers. He doesn't know I'm a watcher yet. Do you miss it? Used to, he says with a slight frown. He scratches his shredded ear and looks eastward. It's home. I'll go back eventually, but... He turns his attention to his shoulder and picks a small seed from the fibers of his tunic. See this? He holds up the seed. I know, just a seed, but I've never seen this type before, and I'm itching to find out what grows from it. Every day I see something new out here. I'll return home eventually, but for now my curiosity exceeds my nostalgia sevenfold. What can you tell me of your tribe? I'm from the Fisher Crane tribe. Most of my people live far to the southeast, in and around the Thane Bog. He weaves his fingers together and cracks his joints in a flexing motion of wet snaps. The tribe is not one of great renown, but we... Haravius paused for a moment. Pauses for a moment. They protect their lands in accordance with the sacred oath of old. And as much as it pains me to say it, I wouldn't want any other tribe's name attached to my own. But why aren't the Fisher Cranes well regarded? Because the other tribes are insufferable sibling spawn? He grins broadly and stares at you for several silent moments. I suppose the Fisher Cranes have a reputation for being passive and reluctant to fight, which is another way of saying the other tribes fight hard, while we fight smart. Our namesake, the Fisher Crane, is a marshland raptor that remains stark still from sunrise to noon. We are invisible stewards of the land and patient hunters of those who trespass. The three-tusked Stelgar tribe see our methods as soft and unbecoming, but I hear they use the same word for cousin as they do for whore in their dialect. Just an observation. Did you grow up in a bog? Only briefly. Here, let me show you something. Don't commit any of it to memory, please. Haravius rolls up his sleeves and shows you his forearms. The soft brown fur of his arms is lined with faint stains of henna and scar tissue. This is where I grew up, on the migration trail. I had it marked on my arms during my training. While much of the tribe guards the Thane Bog year-round, many of us, including the Circle of Hawk and Ivy, honor the oath by patrolling lesser-known ruins scattered throughout the lands. He points at several of the henna crescents on his forearm. We eschew houses, take only what we can carry, and move camp every 2 moons to ensure that all our sacred sites are visited at regular intervals. This nomadic patrol is how my druid circle came to name itself. We circle and protect like hawks, but we only ever perch on the ivy of the ruins, that is, nearby trees. Never to enter the builder's lairs. He already said he wouldn't want to join a different tribe. Do you have any other questions about Ir Glanfath? Your audio clicky in and out. Must be streaming from a Yep, sure am. Eventually I'm going to get a capture card and move everything over to the PC, but one step at a time. I want to upgrade my mic and a couple other things as well, but we'll get there. Bud. Yeah. Did the forested kin give you a hard time
Indeed.
Growing up?
I'm sure you're well aware of how much Orland children squabble. I was the shortest of my age clutch, shorter even than others with meadow plumage. The huntmaster of my tribe singled me out as too short to hunt, and made it a rule that anyone taller than me was allowed to prowl with the adults.
I grew up in Ir Glanfath, specifically in and around Thane Bog. Yep. Okay. Alright, that's him. Interesting. Now, this wild lady.
Your mind comes bearing questions, Watcher.
I certainly have questions for you. Let your mind speak for you. I shall listen past the words. You addressed me as Watcher when we met. Do you know what a Watcher is? There is a slow chill, and for a moment it seems as if she is going to fade from your vision, as if she can't bear to be seen.
The title came unbidden. I do not know why I spoke of it. Yet it seemed the right mantle, a familiar one.
Yet I do not know from where it came. If I have given offense, oddly enough, it feels like she's not speaking to you, It feels like she's speaking to an audience. The air takes on a curious edge, a chill, which persists for a sharp moment, then fades into a dull fear. If I have given offense, forgive me. Forgive me. You would know more than I. Why are you afraid? I do not know. It is an old feeling. I do not know where it stems from. It was a word that arose when you saw me. It is said watchers see much that others do not, and I have been hidden from the eyes of others for some time. Well, let me ask you about something else then. If I have answers, I will share them. How is it that no one else can see you?
See me, but their minds will not remember past the call. My face
Call?
is like the call of a newborn, hiding the face beneath. And for my body, I am able to wrap myself as a mother cradling her child. I am here, as you see me, but to them, their eyes see only the cloak that I wear, a peasant mother, dirty, shabby, not worth knowing. As a watcher, you see more than others. To the eyes of most, I am as unseen as the spirits you share memories with.
How are you able to affect minds? I divert the flow of their senses down a different path, to a place easily forgotten. It is not unwelcome when one does not desire the presence of others. The surface of their minds register a figure, but the memory slips away. They see a woman, but there is no desire for conversation, no desire for any questions, and I have none to ask. Alright, let's discuss something else. When we first met, how was I able to enter your dream?
I do not know. What do you speak of? If you were in my thoughts, I could not feel your presence, nor do I know what you saw there.
My bad, then. Oh, here we go. As she speaks, you suddenly feel an odd sensation in your mind, as if walking in her thoughts could be as if walking down a back street of merchant stalls, the claustrophobia of wooden shelves and canvas tarps made less oppressive by the sheer number of enticing vials and bottles that stretch out to the sides of you. You suddenly realize that whether she permits it or not, you could enter her dream and observe it without her ever knowing. And in response, your hand twitches. There is the feeling that you could simply pick up a vial, taste it, sample it, and keep the memory as your own. And suddenly, you find yourself back in your present thoughts. Though you are away but for a moment, she seems unaware of your diversion of thought. It may be one of your gifts, an ability to walk in memories as easily as someone walks upon the ground. Perhaps you'd like to hear of what I saw in your memories? A mixture of curiosity and fear wells up between you. She raises her left hand, the chiming at her wrists quelling the rise within her. She is frightened, but curiosity anchors her.
What did you see in my memories? I would hear you speak of them.
The dream, the memory I saw upon meeting you, it was you helping give birth to a child. There is a silence, and as your breath falls still, you hear the faint cry of a child in the distance, a newborn child, almost exactly like what you heard in the dream. As you listen, the grieving mother raises both of her hands, as if weaving, her wrists chiming as she does so, in a semblance of the gentle turning she provided while the newborn was crowning. To your surprise, you recognize the motions and the words from the memory, even as they are new to you. As she weaves her hands through the air in front of her, the child's cries grow still, yet the sound of the chimes weaves almost hypnotically into your thoughts. The sky seems sharp and clear, and you feel as if you are towering over your surroundings, as if kneeling atop a great pillar, just as she did in the memory. To your surprise, the grieving mother falls as if her strings were cut, and her knees crack hard against the ground. Her hands never cease moving in the air, the chimes echoing her movements. In a ragged voice you hear her speak. The voice is that of a much older woman than the one before you, harsh, almost desperate.
Tell me what you saw. Show me what you saw. Where were you?
Her eyes, now terribly sharp and real, are filmed with white, silver white, like Audra, Wild. This lady's absolutely wild. Honestly, I don't remember. Crap. I want to say a mountain ledge, I think. She leans back, as if looking back at the sky, but her eyes are closed with the film building on them. With the slow intake of breath, you feel time become quiet around you. I do not feel the memory. I do not know if it is mine, but... Her hair falls across her features again like a veil, and she nods, not with her chin, but a push in her mind. Thank you for trying. I want to talk about the birth memory again. Do I? I can read through my journal, maybe? We'll try that first. Never mind, I had other questions I wanted to ask you. I wanted to know more about you.
In asking, we reveal ourselves to each other.
Where are you from? There is a slow chill, and for a moment it seems as if she is going to fade from your vision. Then there is the sound of the chimes bound on her wrist, as she reaches out to the air in front of you, as if grasping it, then pushing it aside. I have traveled far, so far that even the memory of such a place is distant. Past the words, the chime echoes in your head, and it seems to echo again, as if falling down a long stone crevice, and never reaching the bottom. The chill persists for a heartbeat longer, then fades. The memory is lost, but I do not feel as if the memory I hold is the same as home. And I you. In asking, we reveal ourselves to each other. What do you think of Deerwood and the Empire? Those titles are markings on a map, and channel people's minds in violent directions. Such things are a threadbare blanket cast over the world where men and women seek more importance than simply being. How do you see the world, then? The world is a field of souls tilled by Bareth's wheel. The thought of cultures and territories do not concern me. The sowing and harvest of the field does. Bareth's wheel has slowed, perhaps stopped altogether. Whatever words, titles, laws, and blades not devoted to carving away the harm, or healing that wound, hold little importance for me. There's something else I would know about you. Why are you called the Grieving Mother? The air seems to go still for a moment, and time stretches as it did before when the two of you first met. There is a wash of uncertainty from her mind, slowly shaping into questions that swirl and do not coalesce. She does not move. She seems paralyzed, as if you have just wrapped her in a cold blanket.
That is a question for you, not I. That is not my name, although if you wish to hang the title on me, I cannot stop you. Is that what you see when your eyes fall upon me?
So, I named you? As a watcher, you may see what I do not, or your mind shapes the thoughts I project into a new meaning. There is truth in that title, but it is not all I am. So what do you grieve, then? You must have felt it, seen it. It has as many names as the pain it has caused. As the words take shape, they seem to tumble from her, and the wave is great, rushing into your mind. To your surprise, you feel as if you've been touched by the Biawak again, and behind it, cutting through the torrent like a knife, are the thoughts of the grieving mother. There is a wound cut across the belly of the world, a jagged knife that has stripped the stems from men and carved furrows across the wombs of women. There's much I have forgotten, but I can feel the wound all around me. It will not let me rest, not let me be. The children have gone silent, yet their voices may be heard again. You're speaking of the Hollowborn. The word. There is a slowness of thoughts, as if the word is being weighed, accepted. It doesn't feel natural to her. You can sense it. It was once unknown to me, as was much of what unfolded in the outside world. When the curse came upon us, I thought it a smaller thing, a thing of communities and hearths. Her thoughts seemed to stumble as if on weak legs. It was only when I walked that I feel it stretching out around me in all the cracks of the world. Children have been cursed. I do not think it was something they caused, nor something they deserved. That which is inside them has been torn away. I do not know how, This wound must be stitched closed. The world bleeds forth from between a woman's legs. If this blood is not stemmed, the world will die and grow quiet. Do you know its cause? There's the desperation, a welling fear. You can almost feel her thoughts shivering, and you realize she is as lost as you are on the matter. And then a sudden, sharp clarity. I shall know it, through you. Your eyes will track the cause, find the path, and I will be beside you. There is no wound that cannot be healed, and if you are truly a watcher, then this wound may be seen for what it is. You saw me where I hid. Whoever's hands have stilled the world, you shall see them too. And if there is no way to heal it, what then? I will be there, and you will do what must be done. You were given your sight so that you may watch the world, and you will tend it. The children shall have their voice again. If your will is weak, then I shall strengthen it. Lean upon me. You feel a weight in her words, as if her hands are on your shoulders. You feel the questions in your mind lose their edge and become merely words. As I lean upon you, you shall be my eyes, as I shall be your hands when the time comes. Let's continue for now. Okay. Nope. Journal. I want to see if there's a hint in here. Nope. Okay, I'm just going to keep talking to her until I get the right one.
Your mind comes bearing questions, Watcher.
Sure does. Let me peer into your memories again. Your vision gives way to waves of feeling. While you feel the jagged marks of violence you passed before, this time the path is easier. There is no resistance, and you set about casually harnessing her memories, focusing on the one you seek. There is a slow rush, a warmth, and your thoughts enter as before, circling the memory you shared when you first met. And suddenly you are calm. You are on a plateau, almost the height of a tower, several stories high. The plateau is like a table lying beneath a clear sky. And beneath the plateau, surrounding it in all directions, a forest, hazy with mist. Although whether it is actual mist, or distance, or a recollection. Resting in the curve of a natural arch above you is a great copper bell, half again the size of a man, hanging at attention, as if looking down on you and the event unfolding before you. The plateau is soaked in the sun, and the rock beneath you is rough and warm. The sky forms a cradle around you. You feel different, not disembodied, but you feel your body. Your physical contours have changed along with the surroundings. And you hear a soft series of chimes, like wind chimes. At the sound, the scene gains color and texture, as if the sound is beckoning you gently forth, filling your senses and thoughts, like mist roiling softly into a sealed chamber. And the chime coaxes you deeper into the memory, and you're certain it is a memory, a warm one. You are on the stone of the plateau, your knees on the warm texture of the ground, silver, white, shimmering like Audra. The plateau is formed of it, glistening in the sun. You can feel the heat on your skin, your wrists, and your hands. Your hands are in motion, weaving, not thread, but gathering, tenderly moving along the first movements of Barrett's wheel. Your hands are wet. Your hands are upon the flesh of a newborn child, and you can feel the crowning of a tiny head turning in your grip, its head slick, wet from the womb. The hands you are wearing and inhabiting have done this many times, and they are practiced and confident. You can feel distant pains in your own head as the head emerges, a stream of fluid from the womb helping the newborn slide forth, and a woman's labored breathing, crying out. I'm going to tear away this time. With effort, the scene bleeds of color, and your mind becomes your own again. The grieving mother stands silently before you. She seems unaware of what you've seen, or that you've entered her memories at all. A mixture of curiosity and fear wells up between you. She raises her left hand, the chiming at her wrists, quelling the rise within her. She is frightened,
What
but
did you
curiosity
see in
anchors
the
her.
mountains? I would hear you speak of them.
Let's try this again. This is the same
Tell me what you
as
saw.
before.
Show me what you saw. Where were you?
It was this huge forest stretching out beneath a great rock. As she kneels before you on the ground, she whispers to you hoarsely, and even fainter with the distance
stone
between
of the
you.
plateau. Its color. Tell me its color.
Silver Adra, its surface warmed by the sun. As you watch, her hands rise before her. She clasps them, then cups them, as if feeling them for the first time. And she stares down into the cradle of her hands, and the chimes sound once, twice, as they swing
And
with the movement.
what did these hands hold?
The hand that it shouldn't hold the mother. She held the I'm gonna say the chimes. She leans back as if looking back at the sky, but her eyes are closed, the film building on them. With the slow intake of breath, you feel time become quiet around you. Damn it, it was the mother. Oh, this is gonna be an issue. Alright. Where was I? Forest. Silver Adra. They held a mother while she gave birth. What? Well, that is why she is called the grieving mother. Yeah, I guess so. Hey, Kivo. Welcome to the stream. Gotta try this one more time. Alright. Huge forest. Ah, I hit the wrong button. Huge forest. Silver Adra. There was a child you were bringing forth in your hands. I don't recall. Literally that. That is the answer. You were bringing forth a child. There was a sudden intake of breath and then a release. Her eyes blur closed, forming into slits, but in the brief glimpse you have of her changing expression, the rippling pain in her features seems to have smoothed. She swallows once, twice, and then you feel her once again in your thoughts, the rasping husk of her voice swallowed and drawn within her.
It was the birthing bell you saw. Has it been so
There is
long?
surprise.
Have I forgotten so much?
With the words comes a river of impulses, thoughts, as if loosed from a breaking dam. And as your mind wraps the impulses into words, you realize it is her muscles and her hardened thoughts relaxing and breathing again. There is such an intensity you almost want to step back from the flow, but you find the wave of impulses cause questions to float to the surface. Among them is a name. Watcher. What is the birthing bell?
Plateau, formed of the spirit stone Adra. At its top is set a great bell, cradled in the reaching arm of the plateau. It stirs in the wind, and it sounds for leagues when struck by kith hands. In distant times, the great bell served as a Glanfathan watchtower, perhaps. Why they abandoned it, I do not know. Other men came in time, settlers, and claimed the tower as their own. I, in turn, claimed it from them. The pillar became a cradle where I could draw new souls into the world.
Maybe to help you jog your memory a bit, Locke, I was in QA. I remember. I do remember. It's been a long time. In your memory, were you helping a
Yes.
woman give birth?
Yet, I believe you only saw a small part of the birthing ritual. It is not all in a moment, nor in a day. It is a journey of many years between the child, the mother, and I.
There is much I could do to aid the mother. Some even sought the physical comforts of ritual to steady their thoughts, even Audra from the bell. Others would seek advice, words of counsel for the days ahead. I was able to provide drafts, tinctures, and a reading of the child's spirit, all to strengthen the mother. A telling of the child's
Many
spirit?
would come seeking their child's future, or a reading into the child's past, the lives its soul is said to have lived.
There is a slow chill, and for a moment it seems as if she is going to fade from your vision, as if she can't bear to be seen. And there is a spike of fear,
Such things
alarm.
are not mine to see. I meant no offense.
Oddly enough, it feels she's not speaking to you. It feels like she's speaking to an audience. The air takes on a curious edge, a chill which persists for a sharp moment, then fades into a dull fear. You feel the word Watcher resounding in her mind. You're frightened. Something about Watchers. As the thought of Watchers crosses your mind, you feel a sharp pain, stabbing, and the sudden burn of lashes across your back and shoulder. And then it is gone, and you feel the grieving mother before you, silent, almost fearful,
I was
wary.
something else, but because the title Watcher was cast on me, the word carried a weight I had neither earned nor deserved. The world seems filled with such titles. They distract, I think, from the actions of the person, from their strengths.
But if they came to you to read their child's souls, what did you tell them?
Drew upon the present. I felt the soul of the mother before me, and used that to tell the child's path, to give it a voice. If only the thoughts of the mother and the emotions that lie beneath were mine to impart. I did, and so I used that as the telling of their child's future.
What if it turned out to be
Futures
untrue?
fulfilled by one's own spirit are as strong as anything seen by another's eyes. And if one draws from the emotion of the mother, it matters only when harm is done. And their lives I knew well. I could weave their lives, their thoughts over time, to the mother, to the child, and once the child had been born, was sheltered, I could relax the threads of thought until the child could stand on its own.
So you shaped their thoughts, made the readings
This is
true.
my calling, to show them the life I see before them, and even greater, make them believe it.
But this is not what a watcher does. We don't shape minds, we see them as
Even
they are.
The most strongly worded tells may not be enough to save a child and allow it to be born. If I have the strength to strip away the stem of a mother's spite to expose kindness, weave nurturing from disdain and neglect, then that is my calling. And with the weight of Watcher behind my thoughts, these tells gain strength. Strength I never possessed on my own. They believed. And what they believed became the truth. With each child that was set upon that path, the title of Watcher became stronger.
So she predicted, she made up futures for these kids and made them come true. This lady is wild. Absolutely wild. Yes. Shaping minds. Super manipulative, right? Oh, man.
You must understand, without such weight upon my words, many lives would have been lost, drowned, cast in the lake beyond the bell. Now the trail to the lake is lost and reclaimed by the forest, as was meant. A watcher was not there to look over us, but it was a watcher that saved them, and with a watcher's strength, children were born, were cared for, and grew strong.
To inflict your will on another is not reading, that is
What use
control.
is a frightened will when a spirit is at stake? Would you let the fears of a mother end her newborn's life? You felt it in the memory, the weight of it, the importance of the child's life. It was a memory we shared.
But it's not the truth, is it? And suddenly there is a rasping cry across your consciousness. She raises her hands, and you see the chimes draped from them, yet they make no sound as she moves.
Was done, and children were saved. It is a choice you may be forced to make one day, and when faced with it, you will make the same one.
When that happens, I'll be making my own
This
choice.
choice is not yours to make, Watcher. You will do as the world needs, as its children need. It is greater than you and your twist of sight.
I thought I liked this lady. I have other questions about the birthing bell. Where is it located? The birthing bell lies deep in the great forests of the Deerwood, at the borders of Glanfathan lands, surrounding it. Barely a town, not one you would find on any map, but it held an important place for those there, even if we were far from the beaten track. Small families tied like a knot, joined at the wrists in mind, in thought. All were welcomed. All had purpose. Let's discuss something different.
The birthing bell.
Tell me about the birthing bell? Yeah, I didn't think so. I heard the name Watcher in your thoughts when you remembered the birthing bell. Why?
Believed I was one.
Oh,
And
yeah, we've
others
already had
believed
this
I
conversation. This is a new one. There is another name for someone with your abilities. I see the word cipher in your mind, and see its meaning. Although I did not train in such things, and the title feels more of a cloak the world casts on me and judges me for. It is curious how a title such as that can define one, and at times be the source of such emotion that comes from no one, but the voices of others. It is a curse of the world. That's all, lady. That's all I had to know. Alright, we'll see what happens later. But that was not what I anticipated.
May Wow watch your step.
Does Kana have anything new to say? I seriously doubt it, but... he does not. Wait, does he? Looks like the sky is clear over Heritage Hill. I hope the district can recover. There's a lot of history there, even more so now that you've saved it. Maybe they'll give you a plaque. Let's be on our way, because you clearly do not have anything new to say.
Safe travels.
I love you, Kana. I miss you. I wish I could take you with me. That was a lot for a little... yeah. That's everything in this game. Everything seems to be in order. Oh, I need to go to my prison. And then, is it worth resting? Where am I at on spells? No, it's not worth resting. Absolutely wild. So, how have you been? What have you been up to? It's been many years. And sorry for assuming you were a bot when you first joined. I literally, in my head, I thought that my buddy Tuck was my follower. So when you were like, "Oh, I've been following on you on YouTube," I was like, no one follows me on YouTube. Binding. Characters hitting self? Oh, so when someone hits me, they get stuck. Cool. Oh, that's actually really cool. Ooh. What is your sneak attack? Oh my gosh, the way this works is horrible. There we go. Stuck. Yes, absolutely. I will give that to you. That is incredible. Now whenever anyone hits him, they'll start taking sneak attack damage from him. Excellent. Leave you with the regeneration. Leave you with wood skin. That's better for you. He stays in the back enough. I think the Constitution's arguably more important than concentration. Which means that can now be sold. Sweet. Oh. This cruel instrument was created by a resident of Hell's Gate who was pursuing a rumor that promised a cure for the Hollowborn crisis. He intended to use the rope to bind a virgin girl and bury her alive, later pulling the corpse from the ground to harvest some of her hair for the cure. Despite its nefarious purpose, the binding rope still possesses useful powers. Yeah, I get it. Absolutely fair. I was like, man, these things are getting advanced and being able to point out the dog, but I've been working with AI, so I know what some of them can do. It didn't like really surprise me. You still with MRPC? Where the hell is the prison?
That's her indeed.
It wouldn't be in Bright Hollow, would it? It would have to be in the keep. I just missed it somewhere. Gotta do my nails again. I mean, I'll go to the dungeons, but I don't think it's down there. I haven't fully explored this level yet. Oh, that's the new level. Okay. So this area was redone. Interesting.
Hello.
Greetings, my lord. I'm here to maintain the cells for you. Should you take any prisoners in your travels, I will make sure they are attended to as you see fit. Give any instructions from me. What do you want done with these prisoners? No, I don't want them flogged. Just nothing. That's all you can do is just beat people. Especially this lady. You shouldn't deserve it. I mean, you were. I don't disagree, but you left me no choice. Like, what do you want me to do? I'll let you just chill for a little bit until you calm down. I'm doing well. That's good to hear. After that place, I left to a new place that was close to me and more pay, and work for 10-hour days. Okay, sweet. That's good. 4 10s are nice. After 4 years in the new place, I was unforced to let go for a corporative reason, and their money saving. Yeah, that's typical. I'm currently unemployed since January, just collecting and living a life a little. Also, the timing was right since I moved. A few months off was a blessing in disguise. I feel that. I've been sort of, I wouldn't say out of work, but pretty much out of work since, like, God, September? That's not true. I sold a couple houses in January and November, but yeah. It's been a very slow couple of months. The time off has been nice, though, for sure. Do you have any prospects? Anything that you're looking into, or just kind of still relaxing for now? controls. Oh my goodness. Where's the farm? Oh, I've already been to the farm. I've already done all that. Alright, so next would be Deerfoot Crossing. Yeah, let's keep it going. Maybe not Deerfoot Crossing, unless I have to go north. What's up, deer? I guess it was north. Ugh, another way to Crackhold. Gosh. Maybe I should just go to Crackhold. I mean, what is that? Why do I... Oh, I have to empty the damn water there. Alright, what's in Cliaban Rilag? There was something. Was it the battle? No. Kainua, Radric's Hold, Saints War Battlefield. That ain't right. Twin Elms. Keep traveling with her, find out more about that guy. That's Twin Elms. Oh, man. Ah, okay, there it is. I am betting once I progress the main story, then I'll figure out how to drain the gorge. So let's just do that then. Oh.
This is the place. My big brother's last battle.
Didn't expect that, but all right.
Looking for anything from that battle, I guess. Whatever 15 years of rain has him buried.
He looks at you.
See my brother's ghost, you give me a holler, all right?
He winks. Got this, Ader. Don't worry, man. A man stands before you, his face speared, excuse me, with green and ochred eyes. Hides and furs cover his body, and he holds a spear in one hand. He bears teeth that have been filed to fine points. Back to your village, Estermore. You are lucky the three-tusked Stelgar hunt other quarry today. What do you know about this place? It is a sacred place of the builders, and neither your fleet nor ours shall sully its stones. The grasses, however, he grins and hefts his spear, I will gladly water with your blood. Actually, I'm looking for a group of people who may have already entered the ruin. So are we. He runs his thumb along the smooth wood of the spear. That is why we wait here, Estermore. And that is why I have decided to let you leave in peace. These individuals are my enemies too. If you let me in, I could bring them out for you. He laughs, and allow even more Estermoran to trample sacred ground? Certainly not. Well, you already messed up once. What's the harm of doing it again on our account? Seeing as how we're probably much nicer people. What will you do? We will wait. If they are inside, they must come out. And when they do, he slides a fingertip along the point of his spear and shows you the drop of blood. Tell me about the builders. He makes an exasperated clicking noise with his tongue. They are known by other names in the heathen tongue of farm folk. They are the ancients who built this place, and many more like it, and we of the 6 tribes guard their legacy. Oh, they're the Angwithan. Okay. I'm not going to piss him off yet.
Not much here.
Might have to eventually. I'll be looking into work soon, just kind of taking my time, but might be looking into the same thing. I'm spending more time with the family here and there, and recently traveled to meet some long but not forgotten family in New York. Oh, that sounds fun. Besides that, I'm just chilling at home, so much kind of enjoying mostly doing nothing. I'm on Twitch a lot more now. Oh, that's cool. Me too. But I am getting bored. Do you stream anything?
Too recent.
You can take that. Yeah, 3 damage reduction, pierce. 25 defense against hobbled, stuck, paralyzed. I mean, that's okay. How am I just now noticing that? I can change their color. That's so funny. Okay.
Margaret's fire cast light in dark.
Alright, not going that way. So let's cross this little stone bridge.
I'm on the trail.
Nothing over here.
Light.
Guess they cleaned up real good after the battle. This is embarrassing. I think I see... No. Never mind.
Ader, you should just
Hey, something metal in the
just
ground.
stop.
Over by that boat.
These ruins are claimed, friend. On your way.
No need to get riled, boys. We're just passing by.
Look at his talisman, Pag. Eothasian.
How about that? A godless sack of shit. We got a blazing corpse worshiper on our hands.
Actually, they never found the body.
Only reason for the legacy is because the Duke doesn't got the guts to see you all slaughtered. The gods want you dead. Me and Pag, though, we done our part during the purges, didn't we, Pag?
Seamstresses?
Make your cracks now. Got no god or homeland to avenge you. By Magrin, this'll be short work.
Oh, I hope Durrance has something to say about that. This has nothing to do with gods.
Doesn't
Just
matter
ignorance.
Who it was for anyway. Country's better for the purges. Maybe we start a new purge right here.
He readies his weapon. Alrighty. Well, there's only 2 of them, so get to work. Decent health, though.
They were right.
Yeah.
That was
I don't
short
know.
work.
Yeah, I don't know why they bothered to attack me. There's 2 of them. Come on now, guys. Fine, fine. Ooh, exceptional. Ooh. Eh. Only one that might be worth is it. No, it's not. Okay. I already have maxed out. Red Saren's Standard. The tip of some metal object protrudes from a mound of watery river silt. With both hands, you and Adair begin digging in the mud until the object is dislodged. You close your hand around it and pull it from the wet earth. The object is a steel semicircular frame about the size of your fist. At even points around the semicircle, jagged points jut out like tongues of flame, the rays of a rising sun. At the sun's center is the carved silhouette of a
I've seen
Vorlis
these
plant.
before. They've topped the standards of Raid Ceres. Or did when Weidman was alive. Well, it's something. Just not sure what it gets me.
Doonreed Rowe might be able to make something of it. He shrugs. It's a thought. A lot of people would have touched this. Standard bearer is a position of honor in most places, but the Raid Sarens actually took to fighting for it. What I heard. Serious bunch. It's not a lot to hang hopes on, but hey, we were lucky to find anything at all. So it's back to Defiance Bay, I guess. Unless we spot my brother's bones lying around on our way out. Something tells me we're not going to find his bones, dude. But I think you know that. I don't stream, at least not yet. I want to build my own PC soon. I'm working on upgrading mine right now. Getting a lot of great tips from friends. And I mean by being on Twitch much now, I mod for like 14 channels. Oh shit, wow, that's a lot. I have the follows, just need the hours, apparently. It's always funny to see that Adair is the community pack mule for tools. It just fits him so well. How's it going? Okay. 14 channels. How did you pull that off? Gosh. A broken bridge lies before you. Most of it appears to have crumbled into the river centuries ago, leaving 2 jagged ledges on either side of the water. You see a yawning passage into the mountain on the other side. You might be able to jump across the gap. I mean, I know Adair can, but I don't think... Alright, let's try it. Davos misjudges the gap and barely makes it across, spraining a wrist in the process. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, is that like a... I'm gonna piss these dudes off. But I need to go in. Let me look at what the sprained wrist does, because I might just go ahead and rest to get rid of it. Minus... Oh, yeah. He can't lose any of... Oh, you know what? Let me do a fight so I know what to do for my accuracy bonus. Well, big communities, no other big communities, and the chain goes on. I guess that's fair. What kind of games? What kind of streamers? Also, for everyone joining us right now, I did start a YouTube channel over the weekend. Well, I didn't start one, but it's one that I've had for a while. I've started uploading these videos to it, so in case anyone wants to catch up on past streams that they've missed, it should be pretty much caught up within the next couple of days. And as always, don't forget to join the Discord, so you can keep track of my schedule, because I play kind of randomly, so it's much better to know on that as opposed to the Twitch stream schedule, which, I mean, I just don't see who can do the same game every day and time every single week. It's so specific.
Be cautious. Be constant.
But I guess if you're doing like Call of Duty or something, maybe Fortnite, things like that. Alright, we got trolls. Okay, this won't be too bad. Oozes and trolls. Those are what? Wilder, primordial. Are those even options, or are they... Like, what's the... Alright, damage reduction, damage reduction. I really gotta start bumping up their survival. Primordial or Wilder. Trolls tend to be tougher. We'll give you the bonus Primordial. There we go. I checked out the server. The YouTube is a good idea. Thank you. Yeah, I started looking up on tips on how to progress a little bit further. I never thought it, honestly, that it would be possible for me to come close to affiliate, and now I'm at a point where I'm all but guaranteed to get it by the end of next week, by the end of this coming week. So I started, like, you know, how do I actually use this correctly? YouTube was a big suggestion. started following a couple other streams that do similar games too to see what they're doing. Working on upgrading my computer, and I'm going to get a capture card so I can start streaming on that. Going to get a better mic because, I mean, this one's okay, but I really want something that's really going to capture my voice well if I'm going to be reading this much.
I'll see what I can find.
Oh god. Well. Yeah. What a place for a trap. Yikes. -2 dexterity, -8 DR. I can handle that for a little while. It's better than losing that deflection. Alright, that's going to be a main room. Let's ignore that for now. The heck are those? Which one is this? Oh, that was a really good one. Oops. Yeah? Did I just grab 4 of those? Ah. What is you? Mirrored image. Yeah, you don't really need the mirrored image. This will benefit you more. You know who could benefit from mirrored image? Not you. I guess you. Why not?
Be cautious. Be constant.
Corrupted druid. Do you know? Ah, it's Shadow and Beyond. Okay.
Doing the job. Fiery whore of a goddess!
Oh, I have such a love-hate relationship with Durance. I did it again. Oh, it's a creepy noise. I don't like it. Never could Picos accord with their chiefs. Can a people find order when sunset brings darkness, but never a map in the stars of the sky? What?
I'll take a look.
Never the spirit and always the flesh are a people of lowered eyes. Ugh, thank you. Oh gosh. Oh. Oh, he hit the trap again. Crap. Jeez, Davos. Alright, can we all chill now? Stop hitting traps. No, we're not dealing with that right now. Davos is gonna heal, is what he's gonna do. Gosh. Construction complete on the training grounds. So now let's do the tower. Stop moving. Stop moving. Ah! Okay. Now we can go kill that thing. Hopefully. No one move. Goodness. Okay, that was to the second area. So let's back. I didn't expect that to be the way to go. Hey, handsome. Come on. Come on. Come on, you know the way. And come up here. Yeah, he's a good boy. Come on. Go on. Good boy. You're just gonna... Okay. That's fine. Yeah, it's fine. So a lot of communities I follow aren't specific with the types of games, but some of them do variety, so they say. I do like the horror genre a lot. I was just with a raid who were doing the retro PS2 games like Deus Ex 1, more recent ones like Doom Eternal and System Shock remakes. Okay, cool. But let's say when I do start streaming, I might mostly do horror games and maybe a little retro. I am missing games like GoldenEye 007 and Perfect Dark, and some PS1 games. I never got into Perfect Dark, but I did just go through and play the 007 remake. That was a lot of fun. But that's cool. That's something that I gotta do a little bit better of, is like getting more involved in the communities of people that play these games. Put myself out there a little bit.
Found something.
Mow it.
Kind of went off the rails for a little while there.
No good.
I really gotta learn how to switch their weapons. Don't do that well enough either. Savages massed at the gates with their arrows and swords and spears, yearning for conquest and plunder. Their chieftains and warriors feared not vengeance of gods, nor the wrath of their enemies. Death would not punish them.
Ogren's fire casts light in dark places.
Oh, come on, Itumak, I forgot about you. How can the people of virtues resist the profane and lawless? Where can the elm dig its roots, that the storms cannot wash them out?
Finished.
I thought this would be a major chamber, and apparently it's... Oh, what the hell is that? Not all that bad. Jeez, okay. It's actually not a bad shield.
I'll take a look.
Nothing secret lying around? Okay. Hungering always for nations and gold, they were ruthless and fearless. Sura's supper plate. Stolen from the table of ogre matron Sura by Ferrin Dulka after he infiltrated her compound to assassinate her. Sura's supper plate became the assassin's running joke. In the moment of his triumph, Ferrin pulled the iron plate from under the matron's lifeless head and held it up like a shield. Thinking himself quite clever, he took the plate and several of Sura's eating utensils to a local blacksmith and had a shield fashioned from them. The sharp blades protruding from the front of the shield proved an excellent deterrent against foes at close range, and Ferrin took it to wielding it regularly, until he lost his shield, his arm, and his life to Sura's daughter. Oh, poor guy. That's cool. Oh. Also cool. I don't know if I want to swap out my pig, though. I like my little pig. There you are. Alright, so is that worth it? Probably not. Yeah. Oh, well, I do gain 8 accuracy back. So he'd start taking more damage. But he'd start dealing a hell of a lot more damage, too. Like, a hell of a lot more damage. I'll trial it. We'll see what happens. If I find myself healing him more, then I'll put it back. Yeah, it's always hard to figure out what you want to do for your stream versus what you'll actually end up doing. Streams change over time, and it becomes time-consuming and takes most of your energy. That is true. You gotta find something that you have fun with, you know, if you're just doing it just to please other people. That's kind of why I thought that I would never make it, like, any further than just the occasional random kind of on my own thing, but I started streaming like Baldur's Gate, got a couple followers, and started doing this, and the narrative aspect of it, I feel like that's my niche. It's less about the gameplay and more about the story and the reading and that kind of stuff for me. And I have fun doing this. I just gotta keep myself in check and not spend a fortune doing all the things that I want to do to make my stream better. I gotta just leave the money in, and when I have enough, pull it out to upgrade things, piece by piece. A series of pictographs, simple but clear, are carved on a column in this alcove. Figures of men and women with their arms raised are carved into the top of the column. Suits of armor in the same pose have been chiseled into the bottom. Alright, left to right. When in a maze. Whoa. It's a cool room. Audra grows from a central pillar and seems to spill down the steps. Luminous, egg-shaped stones are nested within the rippling Audra.
Keeping an eye out.
Scenes from a battle appear on this column. An army of men in loincloths and hides is gathered, dwarfed by a dozen full suits of armor that loom over them. In the descending images, the armors crush the army. Whoa, hey. None of that.
I'll take a look.
I don't know, for some it's a job, for others it's a place to escape reality. Whatever you do, as long as you're having fun. Yeah, I agree with that. Well, I believe you can't get 1 to 100 overnight unless you buy bots. This takes time. Oh yeah, 100%. I believe. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that. I was going to ask you how was the kiddo. Wasn't sure if it's alright to ask, but I just did. She's doing good. She's actually doing phenomenal. Hold on a sec.
No good.
There we go. So I was married to Brittany for a while there, and that was crap. And the good thing that came out of it was I got custody of Chloe full time, which was nice. And but since the divorce, Chloe's been thriving, absolutely thriving. She there we go. We moved to Wakefield, which is very far out from where we were in Derry, but images of men and women swinging hammers and heating iron over a forge fill this alcove. We moved to Wakefield, and when we got here, they immediately bumped her up from 4th grade into 5th grade, and she has been doing so damn well in classes now, and like she always was doing well, but now she's just like thriving, and she's really opened up and blossomed and has become more I don't know, she's just like the kid that like gets along with everyone in the school and always tries to help everyone and has a million friends, and it's beautiful to see. Like I love the woman she's becoming. Fighters in iron, relentless and fierce as the thousands of foes. I couldn't be more proud of my kid. I'm a lucky dad. I'll come back to that one. Thank you. Appreciate that. There were some touch and go moments for a little while there, but we seem to have hit our stride. Oh, crap. You alive? You good? Alright, you're good. You'll survive.
Finished.
Now I worry about... Something running away? What's happening there? Oh, I confused it. Ha! And it just started another battle. So that wasn't beneficial at all. I get concerned about the bounties for being too high level, and then I come here and I feel like I'm way overpowered. The pictograms in this alcove portray a procession marching to an altar. A lone figure lies upon the altar, and another member of the procession drives a dagger into his heart. Something flows from the dying man into a white stone perched above the altar. Time was a veil to the godless, no blessings to reap, and no mercies to sow. A column of hieroglyphs shows men and women standing in a line and descending into a pool. The figures that emerge below it stand with outstretched arms and triumphantly serene expressions.
I'll see what I can find.
Oh, dang.
Whose side are you on?
Stay alive. There we go. Well, you attacked us, in fairness. 4 egg-shaped stones sit atop short, narrow pedestals. All face an altar in the middle of the room.
I'll take a look.
What is happening here?
I need something strong.
So much going on in this place. Leaving their bodies to offer their souls and forsaking the weakness of flesh and enfeebling of bone, the barbarian godless succumbed at last. Ooh, hello. This multifaceted piece of crystal has been cut and polished to perfection. See a small kitty or fox hunter. Yeah, it's a pig actually. Rescued a couple of. Well, actually, did I rescue the pigs? No, they got killed. But the farmer who hired me to try to rescue his pigs, even though I failed miserably, gave me one of the baby pigs that he had as a reward. And then you're talking about the fox. You're talking about Itamak. That's my pig, the little tiny white thing. Itamak is, yes, Hunter's pet. It's a fox. Alright, I need to find a second weapon set for these people. Which just means that I should start by giving this to Adir. Oh, well, yeah. Where'd that go? Here you are. There we go. What is this? Crush, pierce, so you need a slash. Thank you. Just pierce. I can give you this for now. And then we'll do this. got? Crush, pierce, so you also need a slash. You're good with that. You have slash, pierce. I'll actually leave you with the pistol. Yeah, that was fine. You have pierce, crush, and your staff, which I'm not getting rid of. You already have a pierce, right? Crush, pierce, yeah, so you don't need that. You got crush, slash. Let's give you this. And then looks like I can get rid of that. We'll give this to you. Someone had these equipped. It was you. Yeah. Nope. Just missed them. Okay, that was up there.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
That's the entrance. Alright, I'm going to take a rest and then head up these here stairs. Man, burning through my camp supplies. Maybe. Worried about going up here. 8 hours? It took me 8 hours to climb those stairs? Are you kidding me? Dang. Alright.
Slowly now.
There we go. Oh. That looks familiar. A haze of essence lingers over the body, as faint and insubstantial as a dust plume in a rider's wake. Yet as you draw closer, whispered instructions echo in your ears, and anticipation warms your blood. In a vision, you see the same stone machine you approached moments ago, but from a different height and angle, as if through different eyes. You'd heard rumors that some of your brethren were sent here months before, yet you see no sign that anyone has been here. In fact, the cobblestones are covered in a fine layer of dust. Ash. You know suddenly what this will cost you, and you are ready. The orders were clear. The effects of the machine in Cliaban Rilag were wearing off. A child had been born not far from Deerford recently, its soul intact. The machine would need to be reactivated. You and your companions take up your positions. You share a final look of affirmation between yourselves. They don't know your name, and you don't know theirs, but you know that you're doing the work of the gods together. None of the rest matters. 2 carved bands of stone in the middle of the machine grind into motion. They rotate in opposite directions, picking up speed until they spin like freshly greased carriage wheels. A wind shrieks through the cavern, exhilarating with the stone rings. You press your hands to your ears and grit your teeth against the noise. You're about to shut your eyes when you glimpse new movement. Rows of triangular flaps around the machine open like petals. You don't know what's happening in the machine, but you feel a tingling at your extremities. Searing pain spreads through your body, a hot knife separating every tissue and ligament within you. All the while, it feels as if you're falling toward the machine, your stomach mashed against your spine. What happens next is too fast to process. You awaken from the vision to find yourself kneeling and gasping for air. Holding your head, you let the tiles between your knees gradually come into focus. As you catch your breath, you remember the strange scene you saw outside Salant Lee, where several robed figures fell amidst a howling Biowak. Looking at the ash scattered across the cavern floor, it is apparent that the leaden key has been doing this, whatever it is, all over the Deerwood. And they are the reason for the Hollowborn. Holy crap. That makes so much sense. Those bastards. I was kind of hoping it would be like different plots coming together, but yeah, no, totally makes sense. Man, that sucks. Something in the ether hums and buzzes through your teeth. Oh. Nice. Okay, I snuck into the dicks. Jesus Christ. Alright, cool. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Shall be back. Grabbeth thy nourishment, for I am famished. Grab me some while you're at it. You hear running water and see a small stream that carves its way into the mountain. Inspect said stream. A shallow bottom flickers and wavers just under the water's edge, but as you look toward the tunnel, the bottom disappears into darkness. From here, it's impossible to tell how deep the stream is. However, a faint light plays along the walls of the tunnel. The echo of rushing water suggests that the tunnel and stream continue for quite some distance. You take slow, sloshing steps towards the mouth of the tunnel, holding yourself upright while the current tugs at your legs. The cold water leaves you gasping, and as it rises past your waist, you fight to control your breaths. The stream bed soon drops out from under your feet, and the current pushes you toward the tunnel with growing force. Take a swim. The current pushes you through the tunnel faster and faster, tugging you downward. Over your head, the tunnel narrows and drops, leaving only a thin pocket of air. You take a final deep breath before the current drags you into the depths. Rays of light pierce the darkness, but the current is moving too fast now for you to see more than a flickering glimpses as you speed by. You keep your hands in front of yourself and focus on avoiding the jagged rocks that appear suddenly in the darkness, jutting from the walls. A light winks at you up ahead. You're approaching it fast, but it looks to be the mouth of a second, smaller tunnel. You might be able to reach it, but your lungs have started to ache. Grab the edge of the tunnel. You wrap your fingers around the rocks, lining the tunnel and peer into it. It terminates in a dead end, but something glints among the rocks the far side. Reaching it would be a challenge for anyone without strong lung capacity. Let's send it there. Eder pulls himself into the tunnel, executing deft scissor kicks while the passage narrows. At the end, he finds a skeleton with the handle protruding from its ribs. Eder pulls it free and pushes off from the wall, propelling himself back toward the main tunnel. Swirling and tumbling through the darkness of the tunnel, you at last see a halo of light above, and you swim and kick toward it. At last your head breaks the surface. You gulp air into your aching lungs, and you pull yourself into the edge of the pool. Crawling out of the water, you look at the cavern around you as you massage, feeling back into your aching, cold-numbed limbs. The Rose of Salt Hollow. Surprised no one took any damage or injuries from that. That's cool. Unique Morning Star two-handed. Ooh, it's a draining weapon. And with a crush. Means it is now hers. It's our new backup weapon. 22 to 31. Yeah, so it's less damage, but it's also draining. Nice. Corrode damage. So it's kind of useless, but it's good backup just in case she's doing immunities. Is this good for anyone? Yes. It'll be better for you than this. Yeah. Alright, where the hell am I now? Oh, I'm just back here? What was the point of all that? Did I find out what I needed to find out? I guess I did, because the quest is over. Well, so much for clearing the gorge, but now I at least know I need to go back to Defiance Bay. Oh, thank God I cleared the gap this time. Let's grab this year's supplies. They don't want to talk, so let's, No, I'm not going to Craghold. I just need to bounce back to Defiance Bay at this point. How long? 2 days, 6 hours? Anything else going on there that I need to worry about? No? Was it Copper Lane? I think so. Might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it was Copper Lane. It was Brackenbury. But maybe that. Paragund, let me see what you got. Don't remember if you had anything worth. You have camping supplies. I need camping supplies. Let's do it. Selling all my junk. Alrighty, everything dark redeems a hydrate. 69 points. Pretending you have redeems. I don't even know how to set those up. I don't even think it can be done on Xbox. Just another reason I want to hurry up and upgrade my computer. It's been a couple hours past. Don't forget to stretch and blink. Appreciate that. I'll be taking a quick break around like midnight, I think. 5 minutes just to stretch my legs. You're not who I want to talk to. I don't even think this is where I want to be.
Greetings.
Ah! I found the scroll, but Whale asked me to hide it again. She gives you a long, stern look. I'd call anyone else a liar with a story like that. But coming from you, she squints behind her thick spectacles. There is a certain logic, after all. And if you've served Whale, then you've served me too. She presents you with a folded section of fabric. Whale is both a keeper and a discoverer of secrets. May this hood aid you in revealing what is obscured, and keep you hidden from those you wish to harm. Those who wish you harm. You find a key in your palm. You are also free to visit the Elder Archives, and take whatever books or scrolls you find in the open. Spreading and circulating new mysteries is part of our service to the obscured. Figures. Now you give me the chance to do that, even though I already screwed over that other lady that was trying to do exactly that. That sucks. Oh.
Be conscious. Be constant.
Light, flame, and sound.
Animancy in the modern age. I believe. Yes, that talks about that super messed up story about the attempt at replacing the soul that screwed up. I don't think that's going to be of use to anyone, honestly. These plain, dark hoods are deceptively powerful, enchanted with charms against detection and spells to heighten one's senses in darkness. As a result, the hoods have become primarily associated with thieves and cut-purses, to whom these enchantments are of particular benefit. Yeah, no one's really going to benefit from those. What is this now? The queen that was and still is. I don't think I've read this one. Dear sisters, do you still remember your first deliverance? When you strangled your first wrongdoer? Did you see the moment when life became death? Could you see the instance when your victim realized that Woedica forgets nothing? When Woedica takes back her throne, will you face her with pride, knowing you have held to your own oaths? Or will you be amongst the word breakers? Woedica teaches vengeance and memory. And while she is in exile, we must be her eyes and ears that let no injustice slip from the record. We must be clenched fist that silences the lying breath. When Woedica takes back her throne, all of the injustices that have slipped through the cracks of history will be righted. The villains hiding in plain sight amongst the innocent will feel the burned queen's choking grasp. Pray that you live to see the day when you will join our queen in this cleansing of the wicked. But know, my sisters, that we must be ready to see the end of our days without the return of our queen. For she will take back her throne, but it may be our daughters that serve the restored court. We must continue to live as we have always lived, hated by the other faiths, even though we place our justice above our own well-being. At least the Empire of Adir still holds our creed in proper esteem. It is a proper sign of respect that, by imperial custom, our clergy must oversee a contract for it to be legally binding. For who else understands the value of remembering one's oaths than Woedica's faithful? And let us not count our current blessings, for we still enjoy the support of the Paladin Order of the Steel Garrote. They too understand that society is built and broken by the oaths and rules of its people. When Woedica takes back her throne, my family will know that I was right to commit my life to the exiled queen. When Woedica takes back her throne, the Strangler will stop being a story told to frighten our daughters, but a hero, woven into parables that teach our children justice. When Woedica takes back her throne, she will bring her flawless memory with her. Every transgression, every crime, and every injustice will be revealed. When Woedica takes back her throne, even gods won't be spared their due retribution. You can set it up from your phone through your Twitch profile once you hit affiliate. Ah, okay. Alright, cool. So I'll be able to do that soon. The channel will be able to produce channel points and such. Sweet. It will not be long now. I don't know how much from the streamer side, but I do fuck around with channel bots a lot, like stream elements and chat commands as a moderator. Okay. Making sure my streamer is protected while they can smoothly do what they need to. 07 if you ever need one. 07? Ooh. Take a peek at and look at those. The Life and Discoveries of Pandgram. Mention the name Pandgram to anyone with even a passing knowledge of animancy, and you could find yourself in for a very long discussion. Publicly reviled but privately lauded as a hero and genius, Pangram's history as it is at turns revolutionary, horrific, and mysterious. Pangram was fascinated, some might say obsessed, with the concept of animancy. It consumed his life as he dedicated everything to understand it. He would frequently travel to Ir Glanfath and the Deerwood to visit the Engwithan ruins. Then he would take notes and make sketches, bringing anything back with him that he could to help him unlock the mysteries. After years of study, Pangram had reached the point where he could no longer conduct research on his own, and he took on an assistant, Helig of Thane. Soon Helig was making trips to Ir Glanfath on Pangram's steed. In Pangram's stead, not on his steed, gathering knowledge while Pangram stayed behind to experiment. This partnership quickly bore fruit, and Pangram made a breakthrough, one that would irrevocably change his life and the general attitude about animancy forever. While the specifics of his experimentation will never truly be known, the rumors and stories that still circulate tell that he had sent out inquiries, asking for live subjects for help with a dangerous experiment that might change their life, or might end it. Those who were already dying were especially encouraged to apply. Response was overwhelming, and Pangram had his pick of numerous willing bodies. That is when he had his breakthrough. He discovered a way to fix a soul, anchoring it to its body so it couldn't leave at death. He had discovered eternal life. His research and life's work had resulted in the greatest single discovery that animancy could hope for. His findings were published and quickly spread through Valia and beyond. While some groups, the Wodekin Church for example, decried his work as nothing more than blasphemy and heresy, many put it to practice. Everyone wanted the chance at immortality. But everything comes with a cost. It quickly became apparent that simply restraining the soul while keeping the person technically alive was doing nothing for the body, which continued to decay, devolving and warping the soul now trapped inside of it. The creatures it created were dangerous, carnivorous beasts that killed brutally and indiscriminately. The backlash was ruthless. The practice of Pangram's discoveries was outlawed. His works were collected and burned. He and Helig were branded heretics and hunted, chased from town to town, until Pangram simply vanished. Helig was tracked down, captured, and brought to trial for the atrocities committed against Valia and its people. The trial was barely more than a formality to bring charges against him, as everyone knew what hand he had played in the disaster. He was sent to prison for years, but eventually released once public outrage died down. Not long after his parole, he disappeared as well. Occasionally, talk surfaces that a copy of Pangram's theorems has been found, untouched by the purging flames that destroyed its brothers. These rumors seldom end up being more than that. Many groups and wealthy individuals have formed sending out a call. Anyone who will listen, find us a copy of the theorems. They offer gold, jewels, status, anything they can to entice adventurers to help them achieve their goals. For there are those who would give anything a chance at immortality, even become a monster. Oh, got it. Understood. No, hey, I appreciate that. I'll definitely let you know if I get to that point. I mean, I don't have one now, so it couldn't hurt, but you seem pretty swamped as it is. But if I get to the point where I am getting overwhelmed, I'll definitely reach out. But of course, you're always welcome to come and hang out. As you can see, I still have a lot to learn. Alright, that is not actually who I wanted to find, but I'm glad that I went there because I forgot about that quest. To a cipher. Dune Reed Row. That's where I wanted to go. Oh, it's the same place. It's the lady that I was going to talk to for the main quest. So that works out. If I can figure out how to exit this place. I should have gone north. It would have been faster. Brackenberry. Definitely considered cozy. I try to make it kind of relaxing. I feel like a little bit that's my niche. It's just like reading and putting people to sleep with my voice. It's actually a really slow night tonight. Normally there's like 7 or 8 people on by now, and even after I say I'm getting off, I'll leave the stream going for like another 5 minutes, and there's still people just hanging out. I feel like they've fallen asleep on me. Hatred House, that's where I want to go.
How fares your search? Yes.
First, this. I want to trace a man who might have touched this item.
But I will need your aid. The imprint of this man's essence will be clearer to your sight than it is to mine. You will have an easier time identifying him. I will show you all that I see. Follow.
She takes the relic in her hand, looking upward as though searching the ceiling before clamping her eyes shut. At that moment, her thoughts enter your mind as a guide pointing the way, and her voice floats bodiless like a gust of wind. Your eyes. You close your eyes and concentrate. The sun is bright in your mind's eye, warm with the pulse of collective experience, and noisy with the thoughts of the past, of battle, of faith, of home. You drift from voice to voice, thought to thought, Ader's soul, a vibrant signature with which to locate his brother. One voice stands out amidst the din, brassy and earnest, a shade brighter than Ader's, but unmistakably of the same construction. You have no image of its owner, but his journey is imprinted within the points and curves of the steel sun, and in your mind it opens before you as a path stretching both southward to Gilded Vale and northward over the uneven terrain that joins the Deerwood to Raed Ceres. You trace the path back to its origin, far back as you can find, gliding over plains and hillsides to a one-room home in Gilded Vale, with a thatched roof and a dirt floor. The path is faint here, its distance and time rendering images blurry and details scarce. From Gilded Vale it follows a road toward Modmer Bridge, reaching the gates of Defiance Bay before diverting abruptly, cutting northward in a beeline for Raed Ceres. The path leads to a Raed Seren city, a regal and austere in the Adira imperial style. It winds through streets and climbs a grand set of stairs into a stately building, passing through pointed archways into what appears to be a throne room. Upon the throne sits a man whose head is pure, blinding light, and as its gaze turns to you, the light drowns out all else. Its voice carries the force of thunder, but its words are impossible to make out in the imprint. Echoes of echoes. The voice and light fade, and the path bends backward, carrying you along to a barracks, then back southward, marching into Deerwood, and skirmishing along the way. Upon one battlefield the imprint is vivid, and you see a Raedsaran standard topped with a steel sun, clutched in the hands of a fallen soldier. You see a young man in Raedsaran armor with Ader's straw-colored hair race toward the standard and lift it, the path you've been following clear to see beneath his feet. And as his hand brushes the steel tip, you can hear his thoughts racing in a blur, and they are of his god and his country, and a brother he hopes is far away from this place. In an instant, the thoughts are gone as well as the man, and the standard is passed to another soldier. You pick the path up again, as it meanders south and disintegrates into the shadow of Cliaban Rilag.
Anything?
You open your eyes.
Looks like you were working real hard there.
Your brother got as far as Defiance Bay before turning to Raedsaris instead. He met Widewind there, and he enlisted.
What did you talk about with Widewind?
I don't know.
Funny. Come on. That metal sun, my brother touched it. You saw where he went. Now what did he talk about with Widewind? Why'd my brother fight for Raedsaris?
I really don't know, Ader. His head was a giant beam of light. What do you want me to say, man?
I guess that's it.
Ader's mouth hangs open and his eyes glaze, his forehead creased between his eyebrows. He rakes his teeth over his lower lip. His voice is barely a whisper. We'll find some other way to know why he did what he did.
We will. What would we do? Look for more war relics? We were lucky to find this one. Soldiers that fought with him are long dead. The battle was a massacre. Whatever Aethys knows, he's not talking to anyone.
He looks at Lady Webb. That's all I needed to know. Sorry for wasting your time. Lady Webb says nothing. She gives him a slight nod, her lips pursed, but not in anger. That couldn't be it. That was such a disappointing ending to that quest. No way. Ah. Oh, poor Ader. Man, that was sad and fucked up. I have lots of late nights, not because of modding, but because I want to. Same. I'm usually up until about 1 or 2 in the morning. And to be truthful, I don't always have to be there for all those I mod for. They made clear that if you have to be absent, it's totally fine. That's good. We have lives to live. I just carry a sword for a lot is all. That's fair. And it sounds like you. Ader is pretty profile, just saying. Zaddy vibe. Jesus Christ. Yes, give us Steelyx the belly scritches. He's a good one. He loves all the belly scritches. When he's not doing this, he'll be like propped up, staring at the screen, trying to attack whatever's crawling around it. Do I want to keep putting points in mechanics? Yes, I do. Just don't know for how much longer. Probably at least 1 more point. I'll leave it. He needs escape. Like, he needs it. It needs to happen. But also, I love how the helmet that I have on just makes his head disappear. Oh, this could be really good too. Reflex. Maybe. And that's decent, but not incredible. I like that it's a full attack. That's okay. That's really good. That's really damn good. But he needs escape. I die way too often. He needs it. And that should put him at... Yes. Good. Perfect. Cool. Alright, now let's go to Aloth. What do you got that's new? Oh, man. Alright, you need another point in athletics as well. Honestly, I might not even do survival with you. I might just keep it at... Yeah, let's wait on that for now. Whoa, hello. You can transform now? Oh. Oh, cool. You can transform enemies now. It's polymorph, essentially. That's cool. That's okay. Yes. That is really good. That's insane. But that is not a faux AoE, so I'm afraid of it. That could be good, but honestly, that safeguard is nuts. Torrent of Flame, a lot of damage, Wall of Force. I don't really care about walls. Polymorph is neat, but it's just one target. So I'll do, yeah, Call to Slumber and the Safeguard for now. Wait, what? Oh, is this how I get... Does this mean that this is just going to be, like, per encounter? Is this an upgraded spell? What does this do? Spell Mastery. I think this means this becomes a per encounter use, as opposed to a... using a spell slot, which is cool. Question is, which one do we do? Or does he even have equipped? Does he need to have this equipped? Let's go with that one. I know he has that equipped. The Helm of Invisibility is strong on this one. I have not played Shadowrun. I had it downloaded for a while ago. So maybe eventually I'll pick it up, but haven't gotten around to playing it yet. I swear one of you had this thing equipped, but apparently not. Man, you don't even have 8 lore. Wow. We'll see. Let's give that to you for now. What was I just doing? So, mastered spells. One per encounter. Okay. Let me try taking it out of the grimoire and seeing if that... Whoa! Sweet! I don't need to put that in the grimoire anymore. That's really cool. Alright. Then... let's give you... oh, it was in the grimoire. Let's try that now. Right? I wonder if I'm missing a button on this. Nope, yep, alright, not in the grimoire. Cool. So... that's for him. No. No, no. I probably should have given him Spirit Shield as his. But that's fine. There. Cool. Next. I've seen it. It looks really good. What other kind of games do you like? It's freaking warm. Alrighty. I mean, honestly, I play a little bit of everything. I mostly stream this style, but I do play Fortnite, even though I'd probably never stream it. I'm gonna let her build her survival. But yeah, mostly just like RPGs, and whether this style or any other style. And I play a lot of short games to boost my gamer score too. What does your AI do? Flames of Devotion, Sworn Enemy. But that ain't right. Because you don't have those abilities. You have... you do have Flames of Devotion, but you have Zealous Endurance, which should always be on. Yeah. Sworn Enemy. Do you have Sworn Enemy? No, so maybe I should give you that. No. Oh, maybe. Let's see what else you can do. Oh, that's cool. That's actually really damn good. That's a big radius too. But it's only when she downs something. So far, none of these are great. I mean, that's helpful to a point, but like she'll be good at removing those effects from my characters when they do become charm dominated or confused. So that is helpful. It's a maybe. That's great. Paladin's Pure Soul resists all invading forces. Your bonus to all of those. That is really good. Alright, so it's either coordinated attacks or... yeah, coordinated attacks is going to be more beneficial all around. Yeah, I think the one that you were referring to may have been. I'm a big fan of passive abilities. I need to get you up again to your bonus movement. That's what you need. Oh gosh, what do you got? So many things. Look at all this. Alright, that's cool, but you will never need it. That's really good, but I don't really care if you attack 20% faster because you don't do a whole lot of damage. Alright, that's my choice so far, but we'll see. I don't care about any of that. That's cool. That's really cool. Plus 20% minimum damage? Huh. That's not good. That's not good. That's a big maybe. Oof, that's a really big maybe. What's the one that I have selected right now? Alright, so he attacks faster or... Oof. Knocks him prone. I already have a prone attack. Immunity to frightened and terrified. I'm going to go with Armored Grace, because that'll get him into the fray faster. Is your fighter a tank? Yeah, essentially. Passive spells sound more defensive. They kind of hit or miss. Some of them are lean on defensive, some of them lean on offense. I tend to lean typically more in favor of defense. Like, I'm definitely not min-maxing. The whole point of this playthrough is to try to do it without any guides, without any read-through. I don't know what's going to happen in the story. I don't know what's coming next. I'm trying to be immersive with my dialogue, so, like, I'm not doing things to make better choices. I'm just seeing what happens and going with it, you know? But the drawback to that is I don't have any... I'm not sure how to build my characters really, so it takes me a little bit of time to like look through them 1,000 times. And I'm playing on a normal difficulty, but if I die, it's game over. Single save. Okay, so both of these are really good. Armor of Faith or Blessing. I feel like this is going to be more beneficial in the long run because the 10% damage is just flat. 5 accuracy, not so much. But that 4 damage reduction by end game probably isn't going to help all that much. And that has a much larger radius. So I'll go with that. Hell yeah. Because he should be set to support. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, buddy. Right, hence Blind Run. Exactly, yeah. No one ever reads the titles. Well, there's no harm in overclocking your attributes if this is a single run. Exactly, that's the idea. I'm trying to be as safe as possible while not being overbearing.
How fares your search?
Alright, so there's something I can tell you about the
Well,
Leaden
let's
Key's
hear it.
operations. The Leaden Key is manipulating a group of Angwithan machines that span the country, and it seems to be causing the Hollowborn
I had
epidemic.
feared they might be involved in Widewind's legacy. It seemed too extreme even for them. How naive I've been. The Leaden Key's conspiracy is clear now. They have used Angwithan technology to engineer Widewind's legacy, and they want people to blame Animancy for it. As we speak, The Duke is holding hearings in the palace. He is listening to arguments for and against animancy. When they finish, he is expected to decide whether to outlaw it. It seems the Leaden Key has been pushing Deerwood down this path for some time. I, for one, would enjoy seeing their little scheme fouled up at the last moment. Our Duke must hear what you have to say. Unfortunately, the hearings are closed to the public, which makes the Duke inaccessible until they are completed. However, certain groups have been invited to attend. You might get in with one of them if you aren't above a little pandering. There are delegations from the Knights of the Crucible, the Dozens, and from House Dominel. If you can gain the support of one of those groups, that may be your best way in. See what you can arrange.
Alrighty, farewell, Lady Webb. Thank you for your help. Off to the Dozens. Well, it's important to read the title of the stream for anyone who needs to know. I can't tell you how many times mods have to police someone when they act up. Like because something specific is written into the title about like what they can or cannot do, or like rules of the chat, or what do you mean? Also, I'll be right back. I think he needs to go out, and it's past midnight, so I'm going to take 5 and stretch my legs. I'm just going to get over here and... Nope, this way's faster. Get over here and pop myself over into Copper Lane again. Family streams versus 18... Ah, yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I try to avoid anything overly sexual in my streams. Aside from that, pretty much anything goes as far as like language and stuff. I mean, my rules are pretty clear. Don't be a dick. That's all I care about. Like, people just be nice to each other. Hard to avoid sexual content sometimes if I'm playing a game like Baldur's Gate, but you know, that happens. Doesn't mean people need to get carried away with it. I have my degen moments, but I know how to read the room. That's fair. Yeah, I don't like staying away for too long. I don't like keeping him outside for too long. We have a skunk in our backyard somewhere. Don't want you getting sprayed. Alrighty. Who do I gotta talk to here? Is it Waynon? Ah, yes. So, the Dozens are part of the Animancy hearings at the Ducal Palace.
Keep the blazing Crucible Knights from leading us all to ruin, and the Dominels certainly aren't doing their part. But Wolfgren's still a man of the people. He's always been sensible in other matters. He'll hear us out eventually.
What are your thoughts on Animancy? It'll be our downfall if we let it. Kith weren't meant to meddle in matters of the soul, and it's only fools that can't see it. Or troublemakers that won't. He leans in, arms folded. And I suspect we've got more than a few of those vying for the Duke's ear. Cheats and frauds looking to profit from a disaster. How are the hearings going? Morley tells me it's a rough fight. The Duke's looking for any means he can to combat the legacy, and everyone knows the Knights are working with him on working on him in the background. As for the Dominels, I can't tell what they're up to. Probably taking coin from the Knights to keep this whole farce going. So, I was hoping to attend the Animancy hearings with the Dozens. He claps you on the shoulder. Well, it'll be good to have you there under our banner. Someone's got to convince the Duke to abandon this folly. The Duke will hear the truth about Animancy. Waynon casually nods your way. His eyes continue to float from mercenary to mercenary as he speaks. Alright, see you later, man. Thank you so much. Let's go to Brackenbury again, I guess. Did you watch the new Fallout series? Did I go the wrong way? I did. Dang it. Getting sleepy. Ooh, lock finished. Oh, that was just an escort. That's right. Okay. Cool. To Brackenbury. Just reminded me I need to add that to my list, so no, not yet. It's good. It's very good. And I'm pretty picky about TV shows, but that one impressed me.
I imagine it must be difficult. Even in my souk, I'm on the hunt more than at home.
Not that I'm anyone important, but...
It's been a strain.
Then to your good fortune. Ado Vidorio. May you see them all again soon.
Oh, Pelagina is showing some, kindness for a change. Holy crap. Interesting. Wonder if that's because she can't have kids.
How fares your search?
Alright. If I'm gonna do this for you, I think it's time you told me everything you know about Theos.
Everything you need to know.
But
It's
not
only
everything.
Right that you know everything.
Damn
when
straight.
I was younger, before Dunreed Row, I had many suitors. These were fine-looking men of good stock, but I could see their thoughts, and they were unimpressive. Boys' thoughts. I toyed with their affections. I resented all of them. And then I met a man whose mind was a mystery to me. But he understood me. He knew me at a glance, told me things I didn't know about myself. He was neither handsome nor charming, but he was all I ever wanted.
You talking about Theos?
We made game of my gift. He would ask me about people, and I would tell him what they were thinking. Sometimes the information was very sensitive. And then one day he asked me if I trusted him. I said I did. Next I knew I was donning a silver mask and swearing oaths to Woodica. Using my gift for the leaden key still felt like a game to me, so I did it. I did it because it pleased him.
But it didn't last.
I don't like living in the dark. It's a powerless, hopeless feeling. Every day I did things without knowing their purpose. Every day I loved a man without knowing his thoughts of me. I sensed that there were things he wanted to tell me. I sensed that he knew everything the leaden key was created to hide. But Theos was unyielding. One day I disappeared without a word. He would kill me for it, and I knew that. It's their rule. I just wanted to see him plunge the knife, because then I would know. But the day never came. He has left me to wonder. I have devoted my years to learning everything I could about him, in hopes I would find some clue as to who he really was, and why he felt he had to keep his secrets locked away. I have precious little to show for it. Just an old woman nagged by old thoughts.
Yeah, but you've done a lot of good for the world, too.
That is truly everything I can tell you about Theos. I hope you will accept this embarrassing story as a show of my good faith.
I appreciate it. Now let's discuss these
One of
animancy
them.
hearings. The dozens have accepted me
Of
into
all
their
the
delegation.
groups, it is the dozens that the Duke fears most. If you have their ear, you will most certainly have Avar's. You need waste no more time here. Get to the palace. Make your case to the Duke. With him on our side, all of Deerwood can be mobilized against the Leaden Key, and Theos can be rooted out. I only wish I could be there to see it. There is a very old bottle of a very good brandy that I have been saving for a special day. If you hurry back afterward, there may be a little left for you. Off with you. You're
Just a little
going
bit.
to do very well in there.
Oh, good. They'll level up. I heard so much good things about Fallout, and a lot of folks are streaming Fallout. When I mostly sit through is Fallout 76. I could not get into Fallout 76. I don't know what it is about that game. I mean, I can appreciate it for what it is. It's just not my cup of tea, I guess. But I did start a Fallout 3 stream shortly after I started watching the show, and what was interesting is I thought it would do well because of the show, but everyone wants to watch New Vegas or Fallout 4, which is understandable. And then this one really picked up for me, so I just kept with it. Well, the one show I did sit and binge through the entire first season was The White Lotus last Friday with like 10 other people in VC. Now that's a great show. What's The White Lotus? I haven't heard of that one. Ooh, that's good. That's okay, but that's amazing. No. Don't care. It's okay. That is what's really good. Also that. But heal is going to be great. Glad that was unlocked. Especially twice per encounter. That's great. That like doubles his health effectively. I can use it when he gets low. Not worried about it. Scooch on up here, head over to, is it First Fires? I think it's First Fires. Don't be tearing that apart. Don't be like Cone. Come on, man. Oh, more assassins. They're getting tougher too. Damn. Assuming these are all the same as the last ones, yes. And then I'm assuming also that these don't actually have anything important for Aloth, but I'll check them anyway. Well, it's on HBO Max. It's a comedy drama about a group of people vacationing at a hotel with dark secrets. First season stars Jennifer Coolidge is one of the main. Oh, okay. Sounds interesting. And the people in VC. VC is Vancouver? I have to forgive my ignorance there. A place has been reserved for you on the balcony, Davos. Go to the upper floor. Okay, cool. I got a place of honor. Received word from Wenin that you'd be attending. The balcony has been opened for you. Thanks. You do some teachings. The room below is animated. Amidst a heated debate, all the representative groups are easily discerned in the crowd. Crucible knights, stiff in their noisy armor, sit in one section. In another are well-dressed members of House Dominel, casual, watching with a predator's interest. Still elsewhere are the ramshackle dozens who have made no special effort to dress up for their liege lord. I like the dozens. Interspersed are animancers in their academic robes with expressions either sour or concerned.
Well then, answer me this, Master Barash. If you animancers represent our best hope to cure the legacy, what progress can you demonstrate?
Ramir de Barask is originally from Palminia. He's one of the finest minds in animancy to come out of the Valian Republics. He left for Defiance Bay 5 years ago, because he believed this was the true heart of animancy research.
Voice chat, Discord, live stream. Yeah, alright, see, case in point. That's cool, though. I mean, I assume that you had, like, somehow done it online, but... In Palagina's words and the way she looks at her countrymen, you sense both pride and a mild sense of frustration.
As I've said, it isn't about progress, it's about potential.
My house would agree, Your Grace. We see great potential in its future.
Oh, shove off, Dearla.
I suppose your blazing profits during the legacy don't have nothing to do with that, do they, Dominel? You can't have it both ways no more. Animancy goes, or this country goes.
So you
Settle
admit,
down.
Master Barask, that animancy is no closer to stopping the legacy than it ever was.
No, we've had many promising experiments. Cadman Azo has shown...
Cadman Azo murdered a child. For a complete failure. We should be hanging him right now for what he done. The dozens won't stand for it.
Settle down.
No need. Master Azo recently passed the Shroud. And while the experiment failed, his work...
was sabotaged.
You're delicate from the dozens. What makes you say sabotage?
Because I met the false patient in Brackenbury Sanitarium who had tampered with Azo's
What's that
machinery.
even matter? These are people who would toy with the lives of our children.
Indeed. Even assuming there was sabotage, is this Animancer Azo not still accountable here?
Now, those who know me around here know me to be in fair judgment, and Cadman Azo should absolutely be held guilty. Aloth whispers between gritted teeth. After the farce we saw at the sanitarium, I couldn't agree more.
Look at what happened in Heritage Hill. Our supposed protectors from Crucible Keep can't even clean up the messes Animancy leaves.
Your Grace, we'd have a much easier time of it if our knights weren't so occupied trying to keep their organization from igniting a revolution on our very doorstep.
Heritage Hill is blood on your hands, Justiciar. You turn a blind eye, and look what happens.
I have been to Heritage Hill since the quarantine. Though the knights were unable to control the damage, it was not animancy, but an ancient machine that caused it.
Strange taste in travels, friend. The height of your tales expands with every breath.
I ask only that you listen to what I have to say.
Very
Make your
well.
own judgment.
Tell us what you claim to have seen in Heritage Hill.
Tir Noneth houses an Engwithan machine that holds dominion over the flow of souls. It was this machine that made the district
Even if it
undead.
is as you say, we have testimony that a group of animancers had been spending time there. Surely their tinkering had something to do with this.
Well, there is no denying that they were studying dangerous machinery they did not understand.
The very purpose of these experiments is to understand. So these dangerous things can be used responsibly.
This is what it comes down to, Your Grace. Whatever their intention,
Settle down.
Animancy's a pox. It makes a fucking wreck of everything.
So sick of hearing that word.
White One's legacy's really about. And it ain't about some sparkling saint from Creed Ceres who's mad because he took a stroll down the wrong bridge.
What an insult. Oh, that was great. Oh, I appreciated that. Wrong bridge indeed.
It's about a bunch of so-called intellectuals fucking with the natural order while the rest of us gotta suffer for it.
Since you probably don't, for anyone that's been watching the streams, you might know. For anyone that hasn't, he's referring to Aothis, who is a literal god that possessed a farmer from Rhea and Ceres, and like started to basically tear ass through the countryside and raised an army and killed a ton of people, and they killed him by trapping him on a bridge and blowing him to pieces with a bomb that they called the God Hammer, and it caused so much damage that they couldn't find even a piece of him when it was all over. Oh God. So him saying it ain't about some sparkling saint from Creed Ceres who's mad because he took a stroll down the wrong bridge is fucking funny. Oh, I got a kick out of that. I have not played Helldivers 2. I hear nothing but good things, but no. Pretty much before I was playing this, I was just obsessed with Baldur's Gate. So.
Is it, though? Should we not take the time to reach a clear conclusion? I mean, what proof do we have?
My son and daughter are buried beneath the floor of my house. We don't know.
No wonder you're pissed.
So that's where we lay them. My son. My wife let him slip when she was bathing him. Got water in his lungs he couldn't cough up. My daughter, we put her to bed one night, and the next morning she wasn't breathing. This Hollowborn thing, it ain't ending. And it ain't ending because we still let these charlatans play God. There's your proof, you damn copper fucker.
I mean, I get the frustration, but again, dude, settle down.
Adric. Lady Dominel makes a point. If it's animancy, then why do the other states that permit the practice not suffer the same fate? Who among us can say he truly understands why the legacy has taken hold here?
I can. The crowd begins to mutter, the sound taking a doubtful character. Right idea, Watcher. Take this hearing by the curly ones. Don't waste your chance. Widewind's legacy is the creation of the Leaden Key. Kaidman Izo's downfall was their work, as was the Tower in Heritage Hill. They want you to do this. They want Animancy to fall. The dull muttering expands into a din of skepticism that fills the hall. I have seen them in the ruins of Irglanfath, operating machines that disrupt and redirect the flow of souls, near towns like Gilded Vale and Deerford, where the legacy is universal. As a watcher, I have heard their dead confess their plot. They are stealing the souls of the unborn.
Another lunatic at the hearing. Did you remember to lock your sanitarium before you left, Master Barask?
You shame your order by dismissing the truth before hearing it, madam. I expected better from a Knight of the Crucible.
You must know, friend, that the Leaden Key is a mantle for small-time ruffians and children at play. I'm not saying you're a liar. Not yet. But you'd better start making sense of all this. Help us believe you.
What the fuck? Oh. Look, we all want the same thing here. We want Widewind's legacy to end. If we work together instead of arguing, we can stop the people who are doing this.
No self-respecting member of the Dozens is gonna let these animancers keep casting their black magics in the same districts where there's children being born.
You need to get over that. Animancers have nothing to do with this. The Leaden Key is your
I
enemy.
can tell my friends from my enemies on my own. You better watch which side you fall on.
You've made an unexpected case, friend. I'll say that much. It seems we have a new possibility to consider, at the very least. How was it you came to learn all this?
Well, clearly if I tell them about the Dozens, I don't think that they're gonna... Oh, God. I took a personal interest in the matter.
Indeed.
Tried to learn what I could.
This land is foreign to you, unless I miss my guess. Your efforts on its behalf are to be commended. But these hearings are about more than Widewind's legacy, even though that is our most pressing concern. Let's say for the moment that I were to take you at your word that our friends in Brackenbury Sanitarium and their peers bear no responsibility for this curse upon my country. I'm curious, what would you do if you were in my position?
I just want to point out that Avar looks massive. Like he's sitting down and he's as tall as anyone else in this room. Just disintegrated into smithereens. Literally. Like, I think he's in great fear is all. Absolutely. I don't know where I heard this quote from, but fear starts with terror. There's always that one guy. Ooh, this is a major choice, and I don't know what to do here. A part of me thinks that it should be studied, but not freely. But I agree with the statement that if we'd known more, perhaps this crisis could have been averted. I am not going to say this. I kind of agree with this, though. Like, it is too dangerous. We're exploring it for all the wrong reasons. Everything that we've done ever with it has been a fiasco. Oh, tough one. Tough one. That's just ignorant. I'm leaning on this. The Animancers of Deerwood have been given too long a leash. The practice should be restricted and controlled. Pelagina shoots a glance your way, her eyebrows furrowing in annoyance. And just who would regulate it? Charlatans like Azo, or fools like Ethelmore, clueless as to what goes on within their own walls?
That is all I wish to hear. Not just from you, but from everyone. Many days we've been at this. It is time we put it to rest. I want to thank the delegations for helping me collect my thoughts, and our new delegate, who, if nothing else, has made this final day a little more interesting. The time has come to choose a direction for the Deerwood. I am ready to make my pronouncement.
Oh boy.
Ramir de Barash, representing the interests of Animancers in Deerwood, step forward.
Your Grace.
Hello. Oh no.
The Gens and Animancy are both strong in their own way. I must be careful in my judgment.
Forgive me, Your Grace. We will accept no judgment but our own.
What's he doing?
Fucking kid. Oh god.
No, wait!
Stop this at once!
Oh shit! Just killed the leader of the dozens. Oh god.
I've given
This
you
ain't
every
gonna end
chance
well.
to end this pursuit. Shall I end it for you? Another time. I am already late.
The words, "Shall I end it for you," ring in your ears. You find yourself grasping for breath, struggling to keep your own balance. You drop to a knee and watch as Theos hurries out of the building. The world dims around you, the screams and clashing of weapons fading to silence. All that remains are the words. Theos stands at a pulpit high above an assembly of robed onlookers, you among them, clustered around a wide, circular pit carved of stone. He addresses a woman backward over a large iron wheel, overlooking the great stone maw. Many of the woman's fingers and toes are severed, and the bottoms of her feet are charred black. The skin on one side of her face looks like melted candle wax, black and red and seeping, and the angle of her back suggests a spine in ruins. Yet for all that, her expression betrays little of
I
her
am
anguish.
already at peace, Grand Inquisitor. Are you?
So be it. If you desire no end, you shall have none. I find you guilty of heresy. May the eternal prison bar your soul from passage, for it is beyond redemption.
He nods to a hooded attendant, who begins untying her from the wheel. Jesus. You open your eyes to the beamed ceiling of the palace's grand entry hall. The clangs of metal striking metal waft in from outside, alongside the cries of the injured as you stagger to your feet. Theos is gone. Ader leans in, his head upside down in your sight as he appears down at you from above. "Hey! You're alive!" He looks you over, frowning. "Can you move? We shouldn't stick around. When Deerwoodens get stirred up, they like to start burning things." Off to one side, you can hear the clinking rustle of chainmail, and you look over to see a wounded guard slumped against the wall. He is trying to say something, seemingly directed at you, but at first it is too faint to hear. He gathers his breath and manages to rasp out a few words. "Lady Webb, she's the only... She must be told. She'll know what to do. Please, find her. Tell her everything." The guard passes out and slides to the floor, still. Well, fuck. Ooh, that's really good. Okay, well. Yeah, that was a lot. Shit. It's a good time to loot the palace, I say. Nope, not when you're standing right there, though. Hey, friend. Love how the dude's just chilling. Oh, what do I do here? Where do I go? Rioting in the streets. Fantastic.
Hail and well met.
Alright. It's rioting in the streets. Okay. Do I go in here, though? Like, what's the plan here? Require the proper... I have no... Alright, I'm just gonna go. Gotta figure this out. Can't believe the leader of the dozens is dead. That's gonna cause some serious issues for me later. And the Duke. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Damn.
I shall be discreet.
Oh gosh. Okay. Oh gods, where do I go? There's so much happening right now. That makes sense. Brackenbury. Okay, fair. Oh gods. Oh. Is this because I said that animancy should be allowed? Maybe I should have said that it should have been made illegal. Oh god. Oof. Oh dear god. I may have screwed up. Check these out real quick. Jolting touch and shock proofed. Eh. I mean, it's better than nothing, but I feel like that's kind of useless for you. Oh dear god. Well, no one's made their way here yet. That's good. I feel like this wasn't supposed to happen. Don't mind me just robbing some corpses. I was gonna say scum save, but yeah, single run. Yeah, that's the beauty of it, man. Shit goes wrong, and you're like, oh well. It's part of the way it goes.
Keeping quiet.
I'll take a look.
I mean, it's not game over yet, so that's hopefully a good sign. Like, even though it's sad and the city's at war, there's still a way out of this, maybe. Not for these people. Man. Oh, jeez.
Slow and silent.
Why did it pause? Huh. Oh, frick. I was afraid of that.
Finished.
Well, This sucks. Lady Webb lies still in her bed, an ornate cushion propping her back upright. The blood pooled beneath a gash in her chest is tacky and nearly dry. A shattered glass rests on the floor beneath her dangling hand. You can feel the faint aura of her fading essence in your ken. You make contact, and are immersed in a torrent of sensory input and experience. When it calms, you find yourself in the same room, lying in bed with a glass of brandy in your hand. Through the walls from the streets outside come the sounds of screams and shattering glass and the cacophony of an angry mob. You take a sip, and it warms your gullet. Across the room, the door opens behind a patient. Steady push. Into the room walks Theos, the floorboards creaking beneath deliberate steps. You wait until the last of the brandy has trickled down your throat before you speak.
I was a fool to think I could tame these people.
You came closer than most.
A fine epitaph.
No worse than any.
You are concentrating, focusing with all of your energy. It feels as though you are diving into a stone wall over and over, but it cracks suddenly, unexpectedly, allowing the vaguest wisp of a thought to leak through.
What's in Twin Elms?
Did you pull that from my thoughts?
I've had time to practice.
Ah.
He walks over to a small table and raises a half-empty brandy bottle to eye level. He seems to approve of the selection and begins to reach for an empty glass.
I was saving that for someone.
Pity. You know this is how it has to be.
He replaces the brandy bottle on the table with care before approaching the bedside. He sits on the edge of the bed next to you. His words come freely, absent of all doubt. He draws a long, curved knife from his belt, smeared with fresh blood. With his left hand, he gently pins your sternum as he raises the knife in the other, its point dangling above your heart.
Prove it.
Theos slips the knife between your ribs and pushes it through. Layers of tissue separate with brittle, papery stiffness, and blood wells up around the blade. A pulse of reflex causes you to drop your glass to the floor, and you hear it shatter. With the last of your strength, you take his knife hand in both of yours, a question radiant in your mind. For an instant, to your great surprise, the pathway to his mind is left open to you unguarded, and the answer comes. Simple, cataclysmic in its reordering of your thoughts. As Lady Webb, you feel as though you have an answer you've searched for all your life, but in your own mind, her understanding lies just beyond your reach. You look at Theos with the wide eyes of someone seeing for the first time, and draw your last breath as a black, velvety darkness descends over you.
Smoke rises above the city walls in billowing plumes that blacken the sky like a storm. Behind the walls, the riots rage on. Known patrons of Animancy are forced into hiding as looters ransack their estates and make off with their possessions. Animancers are torn away from their families and dragged from their homes to be stoned to death in the streets. Word had spread immediately that Duke Avar had been assassinated, and that an Animancer was to blame. The city wasted little time in exacting revenge, and little effort into evaluating guilt. In the center of it all, Brackenbury Sanitarium burned. And down the lane, Hodred House, the last bastion of stability in the Deerwood, had fallen silent. Now safely outside the city gate, your path points eastward to Twin Elms, where Theos is bound, for reasons that remain mysterious as the leaden key itself.
Oh, man. Oh. I can't wait until I finish this game so I can read what was supposed to happen in that moment. Because, oh boy, do I feel so bad. Oh no. Oh. Needon was a Glanfathan murderer who was notorious for both his brutality and his ability to avoid capture by the tribe's best hunters. When he was finally captured and put to death, his body was buried in a secret place near Cliaban Rilag. Riao had given the unusual recommendation in the hopes that the Angwithan ruin would capture the killer's soul and prevent it from returning to the wheel. During a recent cleansing celebration, an Orlan child stumbled across Needon's grave. Not realizing what she had found, she told her parents, who guessed what it was, and in turn told other members of their tribe. Within a day, Needon's burial site had been plundered by a few foolhardy Glanfathans, the body carried away for ritual purposes. All that remained was the ring finger from his right hand. The Anamfatha opposed the use of Needon's body for preparing sacred objects, and will reward anyone who can return it to them. I think I have time to send someone on that. How about I send you? Man! Question about your single save, is that per stream? It's for this game. Like as a whole, this entire playthrough. So, like, that's it. Anytime I play, it's just, that's the save. Oh, hey, look, the gorge is open. That's good. Gosh. Is that someone I've already... Yes, I've already read him. So this is no different. As you cross the bridge, Aloth dries up beside you. The fires of Defiance Bay cast a shivering, flickering light across one half of his face. The other is in darkness.
I need to tell you something. I have not been entirely honest about my motives for traveling with you up to this point. When I finished my training in Advent, I was introduced to an organization. All I knew was that they were opposed to the unchecked spread of animancy, and that they could guarantee me postings far away from the Seathwood my father and his Earl. At that time, it was enough. In the early years, I thought of them as many things. Hooded men, prudent teachers, the leaden key. Their rules were strict, but their guidance was clear. I sincerely believe they wanted to keep Kith from the folly of their own foolish ambitions. I came to the Deerwood a little over a year ago. My orders were to gather information on animancy in the region.
You're a member? You son of a bitch.
Contact met with me every few months to receive my reports and issue new leads. She sent me to Gilded Vale to keep an eye on events surrounding the local lord, but I lost track of her shortly after that. I don't know if she was reassigned, killed, or sacrificed, the way you saw. At the time you met me, I'd been on my own for a couple of months.
You knew I was coming.
I'd been out of contact with my superiors for months. I needed some kind of direction. And after that scrape with the locals, I was ready to get out of town. But then you mentioned the hooded figures in the machine, and I was sure you were on the trail of the leaden key. And I was correct in a way. What we found wasn't what I expected. I knew the leaden key was trying to stop animancy, but I didn't realize how far they'd gone. Murder, sabotage, abandoning entire districts to shambling horrors. And now the whole city is up in flames. I'm still not sure about animancy, but I know I've been following the wrong master. Please, accept my apology. And my service. Let me fight with you to stop Theos.
You know what? Aloth is a good guy.
What do you really expect us to do with this too-late confession? Trust you on your word?
With all your supposed extra senses, you let this happen. Howl like a watcher to miss what's right in front of his eyes because he's too busy and dancing in the ether. The corner of Sagani's eyes crinkle. A team can't survive without trust. All the same, I think he means it, Davos. I still feel kinda attached, even with the betrayal. He's got this way of taking offense that I really like. Tough one. I forgive you, Aloth. But I want you beside me, not behind me. I'm not asking you to trade one master for another.
That would be an honor.
How exactly did you come to join the Leaden Key? As it often is with such follies, I was young and directionless. The Leaden Key promised some of the structure I was lacking, and they offered me a future far removed from service to my father's Earl. Animancy is, possibly, even more controversial in Adir than it is here. The practice has been outlawed for 600 years, but prohibition has a way of breeding curiosity. The success and relative acceptance that animancy has found here and in the Valian Republic spurred a renewed interest in Adir. The Leaden Key began recruiting more aggressively, and I was in the final period of my training when one of my instructors reached out to me. He shrugs. As I said, it was a welcome departure from my father's plans, and after seeing a few of my colleagues abandon their studies in magic to pursue animancy in the Republics, I was convinced that something needed to be done to stop the spread. Aleph looks at you with quiet attentiveness. About your parents. Why was your mother gone so often? She was invited to join a Hamneg with a landed Thane when I was very young. His estate was a 5-day ride from our home in the Seathwood, so that was part of it. He gives you the smallest of frowns. The real issue, however, was my father. Despite his initial agreement with the arrangement, Father was never happy with it. He would hound and harangue my mother when she was home. He wanted to know whether she was intimate with the Thane, and no matter how many times she swore she wasn't, it was never enough. As you can imagine, that led to her coming home much less often, even though she still supported us financially. I'm sure she was trying to take care of you in her own way. I believe so. She had an important role managing the Lord Thane's lands and administrative duties, and even though she was away, she provided well for us. What's a Hamneg? A ceremonial marriage between folk and elf. Because the Adira mainland has historically been split between the two races, we have many institutions that are designed to normalize relations. Our monarchy is headed by folk, but an elven consort rules alongside the reigning Furconing, or Macewen. Mycowen. This is the most prominent example of Hamneg. In many cases, a Hamneg allows two households to pool resources. Among the aristocracy, Hamnegs consolidate power. Sometimes, as in my mother's case, a Hamneg is a means for a noble to add another administrator to his or her household. Consorts are received with almost the same level of respect as their noble counterparts, which can be extremely useful. Of course, Hamnegs are sometimes used to sanitize an extramarital affair. He shrugs. I don't know that it's really any better, but it seems to satisfy common notions of decency. And elf and folk unions are sterile, which no doubt eases some concerns. So, now you understand a little more about Isilmir. He wrinkles his nose. No thanks to that animancer. My spleen, black bile, come on. Well, Belisage's methods were flawed, but you still learned something, didn't you? Only because you and I have a lick of good sense between us. But the average person? Show them a shiny gadget in the hands of an expert, and they'll believe anything. Perhaps. Animancy does have its uses, but it's hard to say whether those outweigh the dangers. It's too decentralized. There's no one to keep the practice in check, no uniform principles or guidelines. Well, putting that much power in the hands of a single authority is no better. He raises an eyebrow. It's not a perfect solution, but it's better than the chaos we have now. That's all. Ooh, Eder wants to speak. Oh, that's what you meant. I thought it was like you save once throughout the entire game. I was going to say that you've had many days played, literally, though. Thought you don't turn off your console. Oh, no, yeah. I can turn it off whenever I want. It's just, yeah, if I die, the save erases itself, too. That's the other problem with it. It's, Oh, it doesn't show it here. Lame. There's a mode, it's called, Iron, something to do with iron, not Path of Iron, but whatever. It's like a check mark you select when you start the game, and essentially, yeah, you only get one chance at the entire playthrough. Sounds good, douche, the husband. I don't think I want a Hamnig Iron Challenge. I understand what that is. Yeah, it's essentially that.
Say what you want about Dear Woodens. They haven't met the problem yet they couldn't solve by killing some scapegoats.
He flashes a hollow smile. You fight for people because you see something there that deserves defending. Even more so because someone you trust sees it too. When you turn around and they do something like this, and the person made you want to help them is gone. Well, they're doing what they think the gods want of them. It's nice that they mean well, but how can organized murder be their best guess? Although, come to think of it, maybe they're just following Wadewin's example. He was purging his own long before Deerwood got the idea. Only he was purging because they weren't Eothasian enough. Never thought I'd find myself missing the hospitality back home. Yeah, this whole situation is fucked, Ader. I get it. There's no right answers here. Alright. I need to go to Stormwall Gorge, but also that battle at Kaidnua is coming up pretty soon here. What was it, like 4 days, I think? Let's pop over to Woodend. I think I'm going to select my next build at Kaidnua. Yep, that's done. Oh. Oh, they've already infiltrated. Okay, well, then that's what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm going to choose my next construction, and that'll probably be... Yeah, it's past 1 o'clock. That'll be where I call it for the night. Make my way towards Kaidnua well, tomorrow during my next stream. There's nothing else I can build that'll raise my security, so yeah. So at that point, what's the most beneficial? It looks like the Forum for a +4 prestige bonus. Yeah. Let's do that.
I must say, I'm impressed.
Well, I expected there to be a battle or something going on here. Apparently, you don't have to worry about that. Alright, let me talk to this guy. Thank you, appreciate that. A little light on viewers, but that's alright. It'll happen sometimes. I appreciate everyone for stopping by and who did spend their time here. Alright, cool. Hold on, talk about the army. Send out a call for volunteers from the lands around Kaidnua. Hopefully people realize that being under your rule is preferable to that of Lord Gathman's. Any hirelings stationed at Kainua will also accompany you to the battle, so I suggest you acquire as many of them as possible. I received a missive from the dozens. They've heard about the situation. We'll send a squad of their finest arquebusiers when time for battle comes. 2 green, too few. Losses will be heavy. Well, that's all I got, so it is what it is. You know, accompany two of veterans that would be willing to join us for a bit of coin. It's at 10,000 coppers to cover the expenses. Why not? Good as can be given the circumstances. With your willingness to spend coin, we should attract some veteran warriors as well. They'll be useful for the experience and will help with morale if the situation becomes dire. Cool. Alright. That's it. Then I will stop here. But yes, thank you everyone for hanging out. Everything Dark, it was good catching up with you. You already joined the Discord, so I'm sure I'll see you around sometime soon. Definitely engaged in the content. I love it that you read things aloud, kept it cozy. Appreciate that. That's the goal here. But yeah, and for anyone else, definitely make sure you follow on YouTube, join the Discord, check out the stream, and if you're watching this on YouTube later, then I appreciate you hanging out. Don't forget to subscribe and all that fun stuff. And I'll catch you next time. I will be streaming tomorrow night around 9:30 p.m., probably around 9:30. So I'll catch some of you then. And have a good night, everyone. Yes, awesome. Good to hear it. Catch you soon.